Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Miami Dolphins post-game show on the FinStanza Sports Network. You see it there. The Miami Dolphins make history against the Denver Broncos, defeating the Broncos by 50 points, 70-20. I thought I was watching a college football game. I'm Bobby FinStanza. Dolphins Thirsty Rob joining us, and that's that way. Evan Posner's over here. How y'all doing? Eric in the house, Brian, everyone tuning in. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. What a victory. What a win. Rob was there live. Rob, you got to tell us, man, the atmosphere at Hard Rock after that huge win.
Oh, it was great, man. Like I say, it's the best feeling I've had leaving a regular season game since 1985 when we beat the Chicago Bears. It was exciting. It was fun. A lot of the fans were screaming, "We want more points! We want more points!" at the end because they really were hoping the Dolphins would break the end because people started, how today's society is. Everyone start looking at their phone. The NFL record 72. We can do it. Let's kick it. And so it's but it was like such a great win. So great. Like you say, I think we could have ran the football the whole game against them and won. We could have passed the whole game against them and would have won. We had a well balanced. They couldn't stop a run. They couldn't stop a pass. What more can you ask for? And our defense created some turnovers. It was just a super duper day. It was great to be there, and I can't say anything negative.
You know how it is on post game, or and we talk about studs and duds, and I'm watching this game and I'm going, oh dude, that dude's a stud, that dude's a stud. And by the end of the game, I'm like, oh my god, how many guys are going to be studs in this football game? It was all over the place.
No, that's crazy.
Again, we had our predictions before the game. Evan, what was your prediction? I just want to make sure I don't get that wrong.
38-17.
38-17. You had 31-17, Rob. I had it 31-27, and Dolphins go up and put 70-20. And look,
70 points. It's insane.
You would think, and you want to say, again, why I was saying 31-27, Evan, was because you think of Sean Payton as a head coach, Russell Wilson. You don't think that they're going to lay down to any team, especially be down 0-2 on the season. And what did they do? They got bulldozed. The Miami Dolphins scored 50 points, over 50 points, 70 points on an NFL defense. And I know people say it's not a good team. It's not a good team. It's 70 points on an NFL defense.
Yeah.
Look, what have we been saying? And I'm gonna get Evan in here too. What have we been saying? We said this last week, Evan. We've been saying it through the week. Dolphins were 2-0. Now they're 3-0. Now we can say it. Dolphins are 3-0. They were 3-0 last year. Somebody go, oh, but they were 3-0 last year. Look how they finished. This is a different football team. Why is it a different football team? Look what they did running the football. This wasn't just passing. This was running. Look what they did on defense. Fangio, what's up? My goodness, Evan. I know it's hard for you to bite your tongue and wait on it, but my man, 70 points. I know we predicted a win. We did not predict this, but damn it, are we happy to say we're 3-0 after a historic win like this? How are you feeling?
This is insane. Like this is utter extraordinary. What they were able to do today for Rob and for everybody watching that game, to watch that game and see how systematically at the beginning of the game there were moments, but every single drive you were never worried. There weren't any snapping issues. Yes, there was a few little things, but there was no fumbles. I told you there were no turnovers. They got the turnovers, whether it was Holland, whether it was Ogba, whether it was Van Ginkel. The defense did what they had to do. Those 20 points that were scored was because it was so out of hand. The defense played prevent defense. They just didn't want to get
an interception. Who would have thought Ogba, who we said, we didn't know where he wasn't there last year. We're like, man, he needs to make. He had an interception and a sack.
But what's amazing about today is that even Xavier Howard on a 70-point game, no Jalen Waddle. You hardly heard Xavier Howard's name here and there, but Kader Kohu was there. Deshaun Elliott was there. Javon Holland was there. Emmanuel Ogba was there. Raekwon Davis caused the interception with Deshaun Hand. Christian Wilkins was there. Zach Sealer was even a little quiet. Didn't even hear about him.
Van Ginkel picked up a fumble and ran.
Wilkins was quiet. Chubb did what he had. Chubb was great today. Van Ginkel's insane. Van Ginkel's the star of that defense right now. It's unbelievable. On offense, Everyone. It didn't matter if it was Chosen, Mike White, Robert Hunt was oh my God. Teron Armstead, he was bulldozing people. Liam Meikenberg, even at center, that touchdown where they scored like their 50-something point, he was behind center for 3 or 4 touchdowns. Did he get a bad penalty? Yeah, but so did Connor Williams. Connor Williams was, I think, the biggest dud of the game was Connor Williams with those 2 boneheaded holding penalties. But it doesn't matter. Tua, when's the last time our quarterback sat the fourth? Like, he sat the fourth quarter. It's insane. At one point, I thought they were going to put Skylar Thompson in. Robert Chosen. Like, it's unbelievable. They did this without Waddle. Do you understand? They had 350 yards of rushing. Devon A-Chain right now is the league leader in Offensive Player of the Year. He is off the chain. Dolphins Thursday took him off the chain. He let him go for a walk, and he went for a run.
That's it.
But even Chris Brooks averaged 7.3 yards a carry in garbage time. It's unbelievable what he did. It was insane. We averaged 8.1 yards a carry. We had 43 rushes to 28 passes. Literally, Tua played 3 quarters and had a passer rating of 155.8. Mike White had a perfect passer rating on 2 passes. He didn't miss a thing. It was unbelievable. Yes, Javon Holland, Snowman from BC, what a guy. Honestly, it was absolutely incredible. The domination that we did on this game. McDaniel made 1 mistake. So what? He went for it on 4th down. But it doesn't matter. Why? Because that's expected of him. The
defense stood up that drive and didn't give any points. The defense pushed
the guys back 15 yards.
It's true.
It was incredible. Yeah. And like I said, the one concern I had, Bobby, the whole game, which they didn't actually meet the Dolphins because the Dolphins had trouble with it. They were able to get the plays, but Russell Wilson was able to get out of the pocket a lot. He was able, like the touchdown that was scored with Sutton that Hill didn't get to, he got out of the pocket. That was one thing on the defense I think they're going to have to figure out for next week to balance, because Josh Allen's going to try and do the same thing. But let me ask you guys a trivia question. Who is the only remaining undefeated team in the AFC? You're Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins.
And by the way, before I came on here to enjoy it, I even though I lost one of my survivor pools, to go watch Stephen A. Smith laughing at the Cowboys. How did the Cowboys lose to the Arizona Cardinals? That's why people are ripping us, right?
Sorry, Josh Wingate. No shot at you, Josh Wingate.
Let me ask you something. How is it people could say 70 points against not such a great team? Sean Payton is the highest paid coach in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson was one of the highest paid quarterbacks this time last year. They have a team. They're an NFL team. The Arizona Cardinals just beat the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? The Kansas City Chiefs were up 31-0 after the second quarter, with midway through the second quarter. They did exactly what we did. They didn't score another 50 points. We scored. Just think about this. We scored 35 points in the second half. After we scored 35 points in the first half, and we only scored about 14 points like in the fourth quarter. It just every time something was open, it was insane. And by the way, what a fan of Robbie Chosen. You didn't hear Cedric Wilson's name all today, but Robbie Chosen, that guy took Patrick Surtain and took him for a run. He bolted by him. So I would like to see Robbie Chosen on the field as a regular, because even without Eazy-E, without Waddle, it was insane.
Nope.
And let me just get it out there, because Rob, I'll let you say it, because let's see if we're on the same page. What was your one negative of the whole game?
The kickoff return on the special teams, because but I'm not going to dread, but it is a negative. But and I'm worried about our coverage team, and all year we've been kicking out, and I think we probably got cute saying, "Oh, we're killing him, let's pin them down there," and and then they ran it. So I mean, that's the one negative. It's going to happen. We're playing an NFL team. You're not going to have a perfect game. But, yeah, I want to see them soar up.
726 yards of offense. 726 yards of offense. Tua is the MVP right now. It's not even close, because I don't care what anybody says. Bobby, you wanted consistency. That pass to A-Chain. The guy threw 4 touchdowns today, Tua. No interceptions.
Oh, the little...
That no look. No. He did it. No look.
Twice, really, he pulled to that. That was great, man. That's a highlight forever. That's
he almost, and he did. I don't want to say he almost, because to me he did. Even though he did 3 incomplete, 23 or 26, he almost threw a perfect game. I mean, but the way he played overall was a perfect game. I mean,
it was.
He was not missing on anything.
You know, Tyreek
No.
Hill had a quiet 157 because in the second half they hardly threw to him. He's on pace for 2,800 yards.
He made up for last week. That's what he did. He made up for last
Yeah.
week. He got his 100 today and made 100 for last week for what he had.
Well, can I just say something about Raheem Mostert? The guy has been kicked around. No one believed in this guy as number one. This guy, him and Javon A-Chain, a lot of these touchdowns are with the use of their speed.
No,
and was a use of and they were breaking tackles.
No,
like
A-Chain. I know people. His knock was that he's small coming out of college, and he ran over some people. A-Chain.
Listen,
and it's just to me.
What's up, Dan? Thank you for tuning in.
But
Mostert
I will say,
scored 4 touchdowns, and he probably thinks any other week he's like the team leader, but it's just tied for the team leader.
I know one play they're not going to play again. If it's a 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, Ingold's not going behind center. I think they tested that today, and I don't think it works. They need to stick with their strong running game. If they want to do something along the little bit of the slant, that's fine. But that was the one area on the offensive playbook of McDaniel that didn't work because he tried it twice and it didn't work.
Listen, like I told Evan right after the game, I told Rob just a little while ago when we talked on the phone. Today, A-Chain and Mozart made themselves equivalent to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. As a running tandem, you got our receivers here, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, those speedsters and those killer threats. And now you got a backfield that could do that. 200 yards, 203 yards, and 2 touchdowns in his second game.
He didn't. Last game doesn't count. He got 1 touch.
Second game. And where he got 18 touches for 203 yards. Mozart. Look, 13 touches for 82 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground. Mozart, 2 touchdowns on the ground, but 2 touchdowns receiving for A-Chain and 1 touchdown receiving for Mozart. Guys, here's the difference. What did I say before the year with this offense? What did they need to be?
Balanced attack.
What have you seen the last 2 weeks? We'll go with this week more, but the last 2 weeks, a balanced attack.
No, it was perfect balance.
It is gorgeous.
I think the only reason we didn't run is the pass is too easy. So it's just like, if they're going to give
Wingate,
us that.
We're joking with Wingate, Dallas Cowboy fan, but he's a teammate here at FinStanza Posner. His wife's a Dolphins fan, but he said, guys, after week 1, he goes, you cannot judge the defense after 1 week. Give them 3 weeks. Give them 3 to 4 weeks before you judge them. What do we think now about this Dolphins defense 3 weeks in?
Yeah,
Rob.
I like that they created turnovers today. You still would want to see, like Evan touched on, a little more organic pass rush, because if you can't give Josh Allen that much time next week, you got to get a little more pressure.
For sure.
But other than that, no, they I don't care if we can give up some running plays. That's hard to win in the NFL if you're just going to pound, especially when we're scoring. Boom, 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 boom. You know, they can pound and eat that clock away if we're putting up points. That's fine. But so just a lot of concerns. But I'd be one of those fools if I'm like nitpicking after a 70-point beatdown. But yes, the defense has improved a lot. It improved last week, but then people were like, "Oh, that's against New England's backup offensive line, yada yada yada." But then this week they went out there and they created turnovers. I think that's going to be the key to this defense, because they say Fangio's defense is a bend don't break style defense historically, and so you created, because a couple of those plays looked like they were going to be big plays, but then we swatted the ball and got.
Javon Holland never gives up. I'm telling you, this guy has 30
I love it, man. That was great.
Has 35 tackles after 3 games, and Cortland Sutton on that.
Is he leading the league? 35 tackles. Is he leading the NFL?
But he has to be. The guy's on pace to have what? He's averaging about 12 tackles a game, about like 11 tackles a game. Oh, sorry, 12 tackles a game. He's on pace for like 170 tackles. But what's not amazing is the fact that even when Cortland Sutton deked him out, he never gave up and he whacked it. Like, he was perfect. He when you play whack-a-mole, like he had the perfect spot for it. It's unbelievable what this defense did today. Like, they don't break.
Steve, are you still in here? My mom said you did a good show today. She goes, he filled in nicely, but boy, was he wrong, because he said it was going to be a close game. So
I said it was, even no one.
Thank you, Steve, for doing a good job. My mom gave you the thumbs up, she said. So good job.
Every single player showed up. But Deshaun Hand, it was amazing to see today. Like, you didn't see Eli Apple make a mistake. You didn't see Kohu make a mistake. It was just something else. Like, every player contributed. Like,
I really like Bobby touched on, and I said at the game to my son, it feels like we're watching like University of Miami play Bethune-Cookman. It's like
it's college football.
Yeah, it's just
And
like
did you
we
see?
paid some team to come take the beat down from us.
And by the way,
To his cousin.
by the way, we all talked about what was going on. I got to give credit to Isaiah Wynn. That guy today on one of the touchdowns. He created a block. Robert Hunt, Austin Jackson, every single one contributed to that offense. And I don't care what anybody says, to get Teron Armstead the way he was today, this guy is a bully on the field. I have never. And by the way, how much did you want to be part of that conga line? Like, that is like the most amazing
I
thing
was
on
in
that
my
touchdown.
end zone right where I
Yeah.
that was
How
so cool, man.
was that to leading the conga line? It was phenomenal. It just everyone is having so much fun. And then I'm actually not that upset that Liam Eichenberg. You know what? In a game like that, let Liam Eichenberg, even if he would have come in anyways, but for him to get a few snaps to be the center, whether we love him or not, he did his job. They still scored, I think, 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns while he was the center. So he had to have done his job, right? He had 1 penalty, so what? But unbelievable. And I must say, kudos, because it's the first time in history that we've had 10 consecutive made extra points. Congratulations, Jason Sanders. You had a perfect game. Congratulations.
But let me admit. Can I just admit something very quick? First off, well, I want to say very quick. Kudos. You brought up Isaiah Wynn. Absolutely. Offensive line. Butch Berry. Second week in a row. I mean, you got to give that dude his flowers. Kader Kohu. I was talking about it. People are like, oh, what's going to happen to Eli Apple? Cam Smith is out. I'm like, you guys are talking about the wrong person. What about Kader Kohu? Talked about it, East 10th Street Boys. Talked about it earlier. Kohu's been playing pretty damn solid. People are overlooking it because he's not the bigger name. But he's playing really well. Bethel. What the hell?
Trivia question. Who's the oldest player on the roster?
Xavier Howard, I don't know.
Justin Bethel.
Oh,
what?
Yeah, he's 31. It's him or
you don't even know.
Yes, he's 31. He's the oldest player in the league on the team.
Well, let me just say this very quick. I just want to say, because we were talking about Jason Sanders.
33 years old. He's 33 years old.
Wow.
He's the oldest player by 2 years.
But let me just say this.
Phenomenal player.
Jason Sanders today made all his extra points. He in very good, solid, right down the middle kicks. But Alex texted me, of course, and Alex is going nuts, and we're texting each other, and he's telling everybody who hated on the Dolphins, basically, he's sending me, they all F themselves, going crazy. And he goes, man, I'm gonna go for that record. And I'm like, you know what? If you could get it. And I'm going, this is my only hope, though. I'm hoping they actually, if they got it, I'm hoping they score the touchdown, because if I have to watch Sanders be the one who can make that kick for that extra 3 points to get over that one thing, and then let's say, God forbid, he misses that one kick to get the record, I said, I'm not doing post game tonight. I'm not hearing from him. I tell you something laughing.
Exactly.
So it kind of was a mercy. It was a mercy thing for them to kneel and not take the
No,
field
you know what
goal.
they called it? No, McDaniel admitted it's nice, but we want good karma, and to rub it down their throat.
No, I have no issue with them not doing it.
No, by the way, because people started getting annoyed when Mike White threw it to Robbie Chosen. You want to know what? Mike White and Robbie Chosen want to earn their jobs. And Mike White today, that he had that was a beautiful deep ball. Robbie Chosen went right in stride.
And they're still like 9 minutes. What are you going to do? Kneel the ball for 9 minutes? Yeah. I mean, to me,
that's up to their defense to stop it. That's your backup quarterback and your practice squad receiver. If you can't stop them, what the hell are you doing?
And that's what I'm saying. The best. They had their top cornerback on Chosen at that point because they had given Tyreek time off.
That was on Pat Surtain. But let's take it easy on the star corner, who we love as Dolphin fans. We love Pat Surtain Jr. because his dad was one of the best corners for football on our team history. But
can we just say that we're doing this without Jalen Ramsey and Jalen Waddle? Like we're losing. We have 2 Pro Bowlers. We have basically the number 1 corner in the NFL. Period. Because they say Surtain is one of the top 2 along with Sauce. I disagree. It's Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen Waddle would be the starter on probably 25 teams. Like, unbelievable what this team did today. It's like
Xavier Howard said that some of his teammates were saying, oh, this is like, because Xavier said, I'm not a Madden player, but all the guys that love Madden are saying, oh, it's like we played on rookie mode today. So he was like, so he took a little shot because all the guys are coming in and playing rookie. And Chosen was like, man, I thought we might get 100 at one point. I'm like, okay, let's not get carried away.
That's what Alex said. Alex said 90. I was like, calm down there, Chief.
We averaged 10 yards. We averaged 10 yards a play. We averaged a first down every single solitary
No, it was
play.
crazy, man. And they was just like pick your poison, running the football, throwing the football, creating turnovers on defense. I mean, it's just crazy.
We were 6 for 6 in the red zone. We were 6 for 6 in the red zone.
Let me just say something very quick. Let me welcome everybody who's tuning in right now. You're watching the Miami Dolphins post-game show on the FinStanza Sports Network. Whether you're watching on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, or if you're joining us from Dolphins Thirsty YouTube page as well. Appreciate you all tuning in. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on Dolphins Thirsty, subscribe there. If you're watching on FinStanza Network, subscribe here. And then switch it up and go subscribe to both the other channels. But we appreciate you all watching, man. How are you guys feeling? For those who haven't put in the comments, how are you feeling about the Dolphins' 50-plus point win, 70-20 over the Denver Broncos? And again, I don't want to hear it. It's the Broncos. It's an NFL defense. It's an NFL team. It's Sean Payton, Russell Wilson. Your Dolphins football team did this. They did this today. And this is not, to me, an absolution. This is not some kind of, this was a fluke. Next week, whatever. Look, I don't care. We'll talk about next week a little bit, but this was a real deal type of win here. This was an all-around win for the Miami Dolphins. Defensively, offensively, running the ball, throwing the ball. Just a beautiful – no team has done this. Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs offense have never done this. Tom Brady and Randy Moss, undefeated 18-0, whatever season they had, didn't do this. No team has done this. Your Miami Dolphins did it today. They did it today.
They have 41 more points.
It was so much fun, man. And we won the class at the end, not running it up. So we showed everything. It was just – I mean, I can't believe it's like all I can say is, what a game, what a game. My wife said, okay, Rob, I know it's a good game, but I just keep on every 5 minutes, what a game, what a game.
Rob, and I want to break it to Evan here because I was going to say, I know Evan's very excited about seeing you and Hank and everybody at the Carolina game. I'm going to be honest with you. I think you're good. I think you're done for the year. Enjoy the games from home. You don't need to go see another game because I don't want you to lose this feeling about watching your Dolphins live score 70 points.
They might score 100 on the Panthers the way the Panthers are playing. But honestly,
let's not get greedy. That's what I said. I told my son, I go, you'll probably be my age one day and never see this ever again. So I go, enjoy this, man. I go, there's something.
Well, how many years has this been since it was the Washington who did this? But it was 50+ years since this has been, right?
Yeah. By the way, you know that we were all saying, I said to you, as long as we get to 21 points, we'll win the game, which would have worked because they only scored 20. We're averaging 43 points a game.
I know. I know. I just did the math. I was going to bring that.
Touchdowns a game. 6.
Well, this game is going to – this game's going to flip it over.
But it doesn't matter because right now, even with other teams playing, the Chiefs play today, we're 40 points ahead of any other team in terms of offense.
I know it's funny because at halftime the Chiefs were up 30. I go, are they going to go do what we did? Because the Chiefs were up 34-0 at halftime. I'm like, oh my god, it's going to be weird if two teams put up near 70.
You know who I'm happiest most for? Who
1966.
Yeah.
You know who I'm happy the most with? We'll read Anthony's comment in a minute. Let's all just give praise to Chris Greer because honestly, he's the one who said not to worry. This team has the right coaching staff.
That's true.
But being Butch Berry, Frank Smith,
next week, Daniel Vic Fangio, offensive line, so
Ronaldo Hill, this whole coaching staff, Sam Madison, it doesn't matter who it is. The defensive line was there today. The linebackers, like when you saw David Long and Jerome Baker coming around each other, literally, they basically did this to the guards. They go, we'll just go around you and get to Russell Wilson. It was beautiful.
No, I mean, I hate to say this because I know I'm a jinx, but I just think McDaniel's finally, I've said it a couple times already this season, I just think we found our long tenured coach. It's been way too long. Every 3 years we bring in a new coach. I think we finally found, I'm not going to call him the next Don Shula yet, but I think we found a guy that's going to at least give us double-digit years maybe of coaching this Miami Dolphin team.
No, you know what he has? Like Jim Ross likes to say in WWE, he has some giants, or like Vince McMahon, he has some giant-sized grapefruits. Because
he does, man. And the Broncos were the
fear.
complete opposite. They were like getting beaten. They were still like punting away or kicking field goals, and we're here going for it on 4th downs, and it's like crazy, man.
By the
I
way, you know who
mean,
came back to earth out today, Bobby? Go check out the Tennessee Titans stats. Holy crap! Go check out
Yeah.
those stats later.
what
We'll
did they
talk-
lose? I know that's
Well,
like
they
probably.
got-
Well, I have the. I was gonna put the scores on here just to
They
see
got
what's
crushed.
going
I
down.
haven't seen any
But
other.
let me just say this. First of all, just talking about because you said Greer and kudos to Greer again with the offensive line. What he said, you know, we're about offensive line than he is or about the team is, and kudos to them. That it's looking really good. But I'm with Rob too. We'll see how they do against Buffalo. Okay, we'll see how that goes out. It's one game at a time. But I want to. We were just saying McDaniel. Last year, I said McDaniel was a bigger or more impactful offensive or a more impactful hiring than even Tyreek Hill. That's proving right this season. You're seeing what he's doing as a coach. First of all, what he did with his staff, brought in Butch Berry, obviously got Vic Fangio to come to the team, and the look at a second-year adjustment. Last year, very pass-heavy. It realizes at what we were saying too. We've been saying it, but obviously he's smarter than us. He knows what he's doing. But we said, hey, you need a more balanced attack. What does he do in 3 weeks in the first start of the NFL? He was blowing up the league last year with his 2 offensive threats in Waddle and Hill. What is he doing this year? He's blowing up the league with Hill and Tua. Waddle's been out. Waddle showed up in week 1 and 2, and then runs all over the damn NFL. 2 teams with Raheem Mostert and now Devon Achane. This is showing you. That's what I'm saying. Last year we were 3-0. We went 8-3 before we fell off. This is a different 3-0 football team we're looking at.
No, I feel it is. I definitely.
Yeah,
feel
this is a
like it
different 3-0 football team, and that's why I'm telling. And that's why I'm saying it's like, look, yeah, and look, it's game by game, okay, and like, okay, you know, when you look at the roster, you look at Buffalo, you see what they did today. I forgot they played Washington. They blew them out.
Both Miami and the Buffalo, they could have.
It's going to be a good. To me, it's going to be a fun game next week. It's going to be a fun game. You know, it's going to be hard. You know, 2 AFC East division rivals going at it, fighting for, you know, trying to get that. Buffalo's going to try to show, hey, Miami are pretenders. Miami's going to show, no, we're going to be contenders. If Miami could, and of course, we're going to hold that till next week. We got a whole week of shows from FinStanza Sports Network to Dolphins Thursday to talk about Buffalo. But I just want to say, and I don't want to look ahead, but we're going to talk all week about why we think this team's going to win or lose or whatever against Buffalo. It's going to be a fun game. But if Miami gets over Buffalo, which we believe they have a real shot to do, okay, that's the way I'm going to label it, then they got the Giants and the Carolina Panthers. Look, any given Sunday, but your Miami Dolphins have a shot to start the season at 6-0. 6-0 or 5-1. Worst case scenario, right? Who would, like, honestly, like, yes, we can hype up the team as we could be bandwagon fans. We could overhype. We could do whatever you want to do. We could say Homer fans. We could say, oh, this team's going to the Super Bowl. We all say it, but, you know, we all have our reservations. We all have like, oh, yeah, but this, oh, but that. But after these 3 weeks, especially after today, who's not saying that? If you're a Dolphins fan, why wouldn't you say that? Why wouldn't you believe it? What's holding you back? Hasn't the team showed you enough after today? I mean, it's only 3 weeks, Rob, right? Rob, am I crazy? I know you and I, it's been 3 weeks. We have a whole season left. We don't want to jump the gun.
Right. No, I agree. But
this is a different team.
No, there's nothing you can say because we've won in different styles, too. We won a close, fought-out battle through the air against the Chargers. We grinded out a 50-50 run, 50-50 pass game against the Patriots, held on to win. And today we just smacked them down. And it just shows that we can win different style games when there's different conditions. And I love it. It's just, I just think we're a very well-rounded team. And yes, could we get a dose of reality against Buffalo? Very possible we could get a dose of reality. But the good thing is it's up there. We get the away game up there. We still got the home game in that game in the back pocket. So no matter what, I'm going to be confident in after next week, unless, you know, the Broncos do. I mean, you know, unless the Bills do what we just did to the Broncos, then my whole mood changes. But I don't see that happening with this football team we have. So I'm very confident moving. And I can actually go into Buffalo week up in Buffalo feeling like, hey, we have a really, really good chance. How long has it been since we've gone up to Buffalo feeling like we have a really good chance to go? Because even last year, we were coming off 2 losses in a row, and you're like, oh, we're going into Buffalo. This year, we're going up to Buffalo. I feel like, not saying we will win, too early for predictions, but just the thought that we have the chance to really go up there and win is just great, and it's been a long time.
That's right, Danny. Huge part. No snow games in New England and Buffalo. We're going to Buffalo early this year, and that could play a factor next week. That type of weather. Evan, look, I know we're on a high right now, and we're talking about Buffalo. We're talking about this. Yeah, I know you are. Not really, though. I know deep down inside you're not. But and I don't want to look ahead.
By the way, I want to wish my alter ego, George Costanza, Jason Alexander, a belated happy birthday. I forgot to wish him happy birthday yesterday on FinStanza.
Happy birthday, George Costanza. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel and you're just tuning in, Evan Posner is our resident Costanza. We call him FinStanza because he overreacts to things and just, it's a whole different personality.
Make laugh.
He's laughing on the inside. It's the pills. He's laughing.
We have to come up with a nickname for every single person.
Well, Rob is
honestly, the one thing I'm missing right now, I must admit, is I want to see Mr. Lagasse eat crow. I just want him to say what was wrong with this team today. Chris Greer's awful. Because honestly, Austin Jackson, Robert, like the 2020 draft looks beautiful today. How does that 2020 draft, beginning of the season, people weren't so sure. After 3 games, that 2020 draft looks phenomenal. Phenomenal. Raekwon Davis, Robert Hunt, Austin Jackson, and Tua, all contributors for the first 3 games of this season.
Well, Bret was commenting in our DMs, and I think he was salivating at the offensive line play. And let me just welcome again.
I've never seen Alex that excited in my life.
Dude, let's see. Anthony, of course, in the house. Chris here as well.
Anthony wanted me to answer his question up here.
What's Anthony's question?
The scary part about this win, Bobby, Evan, and Rob, is we blew out the Broncos. The media, yeah, they are. Whether it's Acho,
I don't agree with that. Yeah, I think the media is going to be all over Miami tomorrow.
Because I want to just make it very clear. At the beginning of this year, people are talking about Jalen Hurts. He's been okay the first 2 games. Mahomes had a great game with Kelsey today. I don't care what anybody says. People were ranking Trevor Lawrence ahead of Tua. They lost 37-17.
That game surprised me today. That game,
Houston Texans. Alex Brown.
You called it though. You said that was an upset alert. You did call an upset on that one.
They are running around naked outside right now. Alex Brown running around. Honestly, unbelievable. Look at Lamar Jackson. They screwed the pooch against Indianapolis. Unbelievable. All these upsets. Dallas losing to Arizona. The Miami Dolphins. This could have easily been a trap game. No, they put the pedal to the metal.
Let me get one word in, Evan. Hey, Cal Brandt, Good Morning Football. They all on Friday. There's a possible upset of the week, and they have all the hats on the table. And he picked the Denver Broncos. He goes, I think the Dolphins are getting too big for their britches. And I'm going to tweet him. Not that he has a million he's not going to listen to me. But I'm going to say, hey, how did your upset of the week go there, Mr. Cal Brandt? That he said that the Broncos are his. He had so many other games that upsets did happen. He could have picked, and he picked, like Broncos beating Miami because he thought Miami was getting. He doesn't like. I know I just sound like that typical Miami fan that doesn't think anyone loves us, but I just don't think Cal Brandt likes the Dolphins that much. And it's just,
because he has a weekly podcast with Josh Allen. The guy on Good Morning Football is Peter Schrager. Peter Schrager is the Dolphins lover. That's who
he is. Yeah, so Cal Brandt, he picked all the team's hats he could have picked.
But I think Emmanuel Acho is literally wants to make love to Tua. I've never seen a guy on Twitter so on top of the Miami Dolphins and Tua. But let's just make it clear right now. Show of hands this season. Who's been better? Herbert or Tua? Burrow or Tua? Hurts or Tua? The key is basically telling people, be quiet. I know what I'm doing. He's the perfect person for this offense. And he's shown it 3 consecutive games. This offense with him behind center is otherworldly because you lost Waddle today and he still found everybody else.
And let me just say for Caruno, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Appreciate everybody watching right now. Duke's in the house. Scotty. But Caruno says, I love the Dolphins, but Denver sucks. Next week we play Bills and we play Cowboys. Okay. Again, fair enough, right? The Denver Broncos Denver is still an NFL team. We played Denver. That's what we're talking about. Look, Miami's 3-0. They scored 70 points on an NFL defense. That could have been Arizona. That could have been Denver. That could have been any crappy team you could put in the NFL. It's still an NFL defense, and especially against a Russell Wilson and a Sean Payton-led team, that's 70 points on them. All right? So that's why I'm not sleeping on it.
100%, Bobby, 100%. It's not like we beat them. Oh, okay. No, we beat them. I mean, we just outright went out there, smacked them, and embarrassed them. So anytime you do that to an NFL team, I don't care what your competition is. You're still playing an NFL team that are getting paid to win football games. So,
and that's the other thing too. You know, you're right. We play Dallas, we play Buffalo, we play the Eagles, we play the Chiefs. Absolutely, those 4 teams that we have coming up, they're going to be. You can't sleep on them, and we're not going to overlook them. Okay, especially us, and that's what we get criticized for because we try to be equal footing here. But the only way Miami loses to any other team, whether it's Carolina, the Giants, or all those other teams, is if they beat themselves. This team doesn't look like they're going to beat themselves. Go ahead, Evan.
If you want to have a good laugh after the show, everyone go search interview Colin Cowherd and Sean Payton. Wasn't it Sean Payton last year who said that Teddy Bridgewater was going to take over the role from Tua Tagovailoa?
Yes.
This is the guy you are making the highest paid coach. This is your evaluator. Do you understand Vance Joseph, who was in the running? He was in the running for the Miami Dolphins job with Mike McDaniel. This guy gave up 70 points. This guy used to be a head coach in the NFL. You know how hard it is to give up 70 points? 70 points.
No, 7. That's insane, man. It's just insane. I mean, me and my son were there today. It was so much fun. I can't believe I was there and I witnessed this, and I'm so happy I went. It was what a wonderful feeling leaving that stadium, just knowing you just put 70. And the biggest complaint are people saying, "Oh, we should have broke the record." So when you're leaving the game and they said your biggest complaint is that you should have broken the NFL record for points, you've had.
And why the way the running game was going. Honestly, Mike White would have won the football game today. This running game was something else. This offensive line, do you ever see how nice it is? Last year, when you would run 3 up the middle, they are crisscrossing. They are totally in sync. I've never seen it before. They are moving like a symphony orchestra. That offensive line, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no, I can't believe, man. And then today shows perfectly that NFL teams can get upset. Who would have thought that the Texans, like you mentioned a few minutes ago, Evan, that the Texans would go in and beat Jacksonville, and that the Cowboys would lose to the Cardinals? You know, everyone thinks like the Cardinals is tanking, but man, they've been in almost every game they've played. They would like.
As I said, who did I say it to? I said it to Stager. Stager called me, and then I go, man, the Cardinals are about to mess up their tank job. They're about to win.
Yeah.
By the way, Bobby, we want to reenact how I would have reacted if this would have happened.
No.
Well,
I told Alex, I said I didn't want to hear it. I said they better not do it.
There's some there's pretenders. Like I've never seen teams like this, like the Bears and there are teams here who the Vikings.
The Bears may end up being the damn team with.
Let me run through it. Let me run through it, guys. Let's do that very quick, guys. And again, everybody tune in. You're watching the Miami Dolphins post game show on the Fids Talk Sports Network. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Let me just go ahead. Week 3. Let's run through these scores very quick. We'll get back to our studs and duds for the Miami Dolphins games, if there's any duds. But the first game, obviously, we know about the Giants and the 49ers. Giants won 30-12. But the Falcons, the Lions beat the Falcons 20-6. I think we both picked, right? We both picked the Lions to win that game.
The Lions.
All right. The Chargers got their first win of the season, beating the Vikings 28-24.
Yeah, you know who the best quarterback was on that team today? It wasn't Justin Herbert. It was Mike Williams. He made a throw. Yeah, like one of the touchdowns he scored was Mike Williams throwing it to Keenan Allen, and another one, Justin Herbert threw a pick literally in the hands of the Viking corner. Yeah, I know. And he literally went through. He literally bobbled it and basically plopped it into the end zone for the Chargers to win the game. Basically, Herbert was not good at all today. He had 405 yards and 3 TDs, but he was not great with those yards. He was not very good.
Evan, that's great. Herbert wasn't good. He had like 405 yards and only 3 touchdowns, but damn, it was sucked. It's like, okay. Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, Stager's Packers came back and beat the Saints 18-17.
They were down 17-0 heading to the fourth quarter. They made their way back.
Wow. And yeah, Stager was excited about that. The Texans, as Evan just brought up, shocked the Jaguars 37-17. They scored 37 points? Oh, my gosh, against the Jags? Oh my, it's like old-time football. And of course, the Miami Dolphins only scored a measly 70 points, 70-20 victory. I mean, and we get over to the Cleveland Browns, shut down the Titans 27-3.
That's a scary defense.
Oh, dude. We touched on it. We talked about it. The Buffalo Bills beat the Commanders 37-3 today. The Colts shocked the Ravens in overtime 22-19.
Another shocker.
Yeah, but Lamar Jackson had a very bad game. He didn't throw the football well today. Gardner Minshew had more rushing yards than him.
The Patriots win. They beat the Jets 15-10 in a close game.
You should see Belichick in his press conference. He goes, 15 points is enough to beat the Jets. And I love how Robert Saleh, I don't care what you say, the fact that you keep on doubling down with Zach Wilson, you're going to get yourself fired. Because if you keep on doubling down on Zach Wilson.
Well, I mean, what choice did I don't want to defend any Jets.
They don't have much choice, Evan.
Yeah, they don't have a choice.
They'd rather have Mike White. They take Mike White at this point.
But they can't have Mike White. He's our backup. You know, who do they have?
Mike
you know,
White threw a nice ball today. He threw a very nice ball today.
The Panthers lost. It was a high-scoring game, and it was a fun game. 37-27 to the Seahawks. Seahawks scored 37 points.
Was Bryce Young injured today? That Dalton played.
I don't know.
I think he sat out. Didn't he sit out?
Oh, he did. Maybe he sat out. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he sat out because he was injured. Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs with Taylor Swift, which I thought was so stupid that right after the Dolphins scored 70 points, all I see on M. Schefter and NFL Twitter, Taylor Swift, let's effing go. I was like, who cares? But they score 41 points on the Bears, 41-10 win. And Arizona Cardinals messing up their race for the number one pick, win 28-16 against our colleague Josh Wingate's Cowboys.
Oh, did you see that interception from Dak Prescott in the end zone? That's just awful. That's just.
I didn't see it. No.
Oh, that was a gimme. That was
at the game today, so I didn't see much.
No,
of
that's what it was.
A lot of the scores that Bobby's going over.
I just saw the highlights.
Here in the
Unbelievable.
scores.
And these Bears spending money on Trayvon Edmonds, Justin Fields. Oh my God.
Thank you, Tati. Thank you for sharing my business to the
may
world.
Have
yes.
Caleb Williams at this pace next year, so we'll see. So.
I still feel it.
By the way, Bobby, she's only giving you more reason to take a little vacation.
Stop.
Thursday, I'm trying to convince Bobby to come. I'm begging him to come.
Goodness gracious. But make sure
that was it.
That's all. Yeah, I know. I got sick of hearing it too, Chris. I didn't want to hear all that. Yeah. Leo in the house. Good to see you. Okay, let's do this.
I just give you credit. Kevin Harland, he is probably for me, he is my favorite announcer in sports. What kind of a pleasure, Bobby, is it to listen to him call a game, whether it's basketball or? Well,
it's just like where is it Mike Breen from basketball when you and you hit the you love listening to him call basketball games. Kevin Harlan is what you want to hear during a football game, especially a Dolphins game. He's got Hill. You saw that.
I just wish I had recorded that game because I was at it. In hindsight, I should have recorded. I would watch that again.
That's why I'm so happy that I have The Zone, which is this special thing where you can DVR every game. I can watch the games from last season. I literally, if I remember I'm down or I'm having a rough game of work, I'm just going to put on the 70.
But this is the game you'd put on if you're down, like you're having a rough game. I just need some happiness. 70-point win.
I'm 40 years old, and the last great memory. I'm 40 years old. The best memory for me in the last 10 years is the Miami Miracle. That's always going to play in our brains, right? That gave us joy. But that didn't mean much.
No, it didn't mean anything.
We have scored more points.
Very low on my radar.
Dan Marino, I haven't even looked. What's the most points that a Dan Marino team has ever scored?
That's a good question. I know, but that's what I'm saying. Nothing near that, man. It's like crazy.
Maybe 60? Maybe.
But you see, back then though, we had the Rob obviously was in the Duper brothers, etc. Yeah. But there wasn't what we have now. This team all around is showing out. It's not just one guy. It's not just Tua, even though Tua's playing phenomenal MVP right now, right? Who's the MVP of the season right now? Who can you say other than Tua? Who's right? You can't, right?
No,
I mean, but it's not just Tua. It's Tyreek. Hey, it's not just Tyreek. It's Raheem Mostert. Oh, what was it today? It wasn't just Raheem Mostert. It was Devon Achane.
Keep on stepping up, man. It's great. Only worry I'm worried about some of the injuries we suffered today. So hopefully none of them are long term, So
But you saw, by the way, I don't want to hear anything. It was garbage time, but the so-called depth players, they were there today. They did what they had to do. Even in garbage time, we still scored points against an NFL defense. So if Eichenberg at center, whether it's going to be Keon Smith, whether it's Brandon Peely, whether it's Deshaun Hand, whether it's Duke Riley, they did their job.
What's up, Slim? Thank you for tuning in, my man. That was it was like a college football game.
Mentioned that.
We want to one up Oregon.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Oregon thinks they can try to show up the Dolphins. Nope, not today. But let me ask you this, Evan. I'm gonna start with you, and then we'll get to Rob. Okay, and probably it's all gonna be the same, probably for all of us. I highly doubt it'll be different, but let's try. Studs and duds, my man. Who are your top 3 studs, and who are your duds of the game, if there's any duds?
Okay, studs of the game are A-Chain, Mostert, and the reason I'm giving it to him is just because he came back and literally did not look like a shy of injury, is Teron Armstead. Because watching that left side, they were running all day. He is the glue of that offensive line. I guarantee he was there. I've never seen anything. In terms of duds, I will give 3 duds just because the special team coverage was not great today. So Danny Crossman, wake up and smell the coffee. You can't allow that to happen in any game. I don't care if we're winning by 80. It doesn't matter. You should not let that happen, where literally you left Jake Bailey all by himself on one side of the field. On the defensive side, Connor Williams. I'm sorry. Connor Williams right now is the 5th best offensive lineman we have on that line. He had 2 boneheaded penalties. Those were not on Tua. He had 2 boneheaded penalties, and every game he has played so far this season, he has cost himself money. He is not a $7 million center the way he's playing right now. Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt, that group, they have not been playing. And then the other one I would say, I'm trying to think, X, only because X didn't, on that play, he's showing a little bit of his age, where someone made a comment just a little bit above. He had one bad play. Like, if you have to look at one poor touchdown play, it was X. So if I had to nitpick, it's Crossman. It's Connor Williams, number 1, Crossman, number 2, X, number 3.
All right. Rob?
Well, obviously you have to have A-Chain. Obviously you have to have Moser. When 2 guys score 4 touchdowns each, both of them have to make it. It'd be easy, I'm going to go someone a little different because it'd be easy to say Tua. I mean, the man was almost perfect to start. I mean, I think he went to 17 before he finally. So he's definitely a stud, but that's too easy. He is going to get a helmet sticker on DolphinThirsty.com. But as far as studs, if you said I have to stick with 3, I'm going to throw a surprise and go Holland for having a strip. And, I would go 2. 2 strips. And, I go with Holland. But obviously, I can name probably 6, 5, 7 studs. If we wanted to go along offensive. But if you say stick with 3, I'm going to stick with 3. And I will give, the special teams coverage on that one kickoff. That was a dud. And, and that's it really to me. Yes, Connor was a disappointment. But I'm just covering the same people all over it, basically. I agree with him on some of his duds. So nothing new because, in a game you win 70, just not that many duds, and haven't covered the duds for the most part.
It's a good problem to have. For me, I'll say, I am going to say Tua because you guys didn't. I'll say Tua. He's a stud. He was a stud today. Almost threw a perfect game. To me, he did throw a perfect game. I don't know what his final quarterback rating was. Was it 158.3?
155.8.
Okay, so close enough.
No, Mike White had 158.3.
Well, damn it. Okay, give it to Mike White. No, I'm just kidding. Raphael, good to see you, my man. Scotty, dude,
loves Raphael.
Slim Dolphin Cutter, good to see you. Her Dolphin 305. Thank you for tuning in.
These are all
Leo, thank you all for tuning in. Smash that like and subscribe button. We appreciate you guys. So yeah, obviously Tua, and I'm between Mozart and A-Chain, and I'm gonna throw Chris Brooks in there. I'm gonna give the running game the second stud overall. Okay, and of course A-Chain is right there. Huh?
That feels a great running back coach.
Dude. Well, you think about what Mike McDaniel is and what he was before. You see what Eric Studsville's doing. He's gonna get some calls after this offseason if this continues. Frank Smith as well. We're gonna have some coaches being poached after this season if this offense continues.
For our receivers coach too, man.
Welker. Yeah. So, but I want to say, So I'm going with the 3 backs for stud 2. I'm just gonna put them all and lump them all in one. Of course, A-Chain's leading the thing there, right next to Mozart. Mozart deserves just as much love as A-Chain today, even though A-Chain's the rookie, 200 yards in his first official game. You didn't even know it was 2 games in. And then my third one, I know you said surprise with Javon Holland. I'm gonna give it to Agba. He had a sack. He had an interception. He had a batted ball interception.
That was beautiful, man.
I got to give it to Agba, man. Agba looked good. And I will say, too, is that, it's hard to give a dud. And I see what you guys are coming from. I know Eichenberg. I see somebody, I think it was Chris who brought up Eichenberg. Evan brings up Connor. But again, I was very impressed with the offensive line overall.
It's really hard to come up with duds.
So I can't really do that with
Connor Williams was rough today.
He was rough, but and I've got to go back and watch him, and maybe I'll put it on there. But I can't do it because to me, watching the entire offensive line, the only time I went, "What?" was when I texted you, "Why is Eichenberg there?" And when they got that penalty, he got called for that penalty.
He has a groin injury.
That's the only time I noticed something bad on the offensive line. Other than that, I didn't notice anything.
You wonder why he has a groin injury? Because he's such a bad snapper.
You know what? I'm going to give it to. No, I can't. I already gave my 3 studs. But Butch Berry deserves a stud today. Butch Berry deserves a stud today. But my dud, the only thing is special teams.
10 studs, man.
That's what special teams, and that one play was the dud. Other than that, I can't give any duds because it was a 70-point win. Offense, defense, and special teams, they did their job. It was a 70-point win. It was a great win. Yes, Jeff Wilson Jr., who hasn't played it down, and I'm not hating on him because I was watching some things on him today. My son loves to watch some of those things and some of the old games, and we saw what he could do. But yeah, if you got A-Chain, you got Raheem Mozart, Savon Ahmed, and what Chris Brooks did today, even though it was garbage time, Wilson now becomes trade bait. And yeah, you're probably not going to get a second or a third, or maybe get a third, but you probably get a 4th round pick, and I'm cool with that. Get a 4th round pick, build up those draft picks. I'm down. Groin injury equals benched. I
agree with you.
I don't think
he's the 5th best offensive lineman we have. Actually, no, I actually consider him the 6th because Kendall Lamb is better than Connor Williams right now. Honestly, poor Kendall Lamb, the guy was phenomenal for 2 games. Now he's sitting on the bench.
Yeah, when you hate somebody, you hate them. When you go in on someone, you go in. You just don't let it go.
Respect for somebody who
no respect. No. What did he do to not get your respect?
He sits out OTAs because he thinks he should be making more than.
Oh my gosh!
Then he's poor snapper, and now 2 boneheaded holding penalties on the same drive. But you know what was amazing about the Dolphins on that? Even with his 2 penalties,
that was Eichenberg.
No, it wasn't. He had 1 bad penalty for 15 yards after he came out. On one play, we moved it ball down. We went back 10 yards. We moved to 20 yards. We moved it back 10 yards thanks to Connor Williams. You know what the crazy part was? Even with those 20 yards of penalties, we still scored a touchdown.
No, I know. That's insane. We're so different because those few years ago, those penalties would have killed us.
Killed us over. Because Brian Flores or Adam Gates would run the ball on 3rd down. We'll throw it down the field.
Yeah, Scotty, to cut Cedric Wilson, why would you want to open a spot? What do we need right now on this roster?
I guess they want Chosen up more on the practice squad.
Chosen?
I wouldn't use the cap. That was a beauty. Honestly, by the way, when's the last time you saw a receiver not wear gloves?
That's fair, Slim. That's fair, man. That's absolutely fair.
By the way, did you notice that when Robbie Chosen caught the football, and when's the last time you saw a barehanded receiver?
I haven't.
He caught it barehanded. Unbelievable. I've never seen that.
That was beautiful. And a beautiful pass from Mike White. I mean, it's just a beautiful game all, man.
Unbelievable.
Hey, man. Bobby, you got 60 people in your room, man. That's a lot of good love. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're having a beautiful night with all the
I didn't even really promote my channel tonight because I was beat down after that game. I just threw
I think it would be a good idea. We got a lot of people in here, and it's great, and it's Dolphins. It's the Dolphins community, and why not? It's a great time to be a Dolphins fan. Look, guys, again, last season we were 3-0. A few years, I just saw a Facebook memory. Do you know how they do memories? We were 3-0 a few years back. This is a different 3. It was with Ryan Tannehill and Gase, I believe, was the 3-0 before, and then Tannehill got hurt. We lost. It was the Arizona game. I think he got hurt, and we lost to whatever team in the playoff. This is a different 3-0. This is a different 3-0 football team. And if you're a Dolphins fan, you should recognize this. Because this win today, even against a Broncos team, is still an NFL team. This was not preseason. This wasn't college. This wasn't NCAA basketball. This was an NFL game, regular season, where all the starters played, where Russell Wilson, a Super Bowl winning quarterback with a Hall of Fame coach, and Sean Payton, you were going against them, and you scored 70-20 over a 50-point win.
Yep.
This is a different.
More if you wanted it. So
yeah, exactly. This is a Miami Dolphins team that, let it be known, is real. Again, I want to say this: no team had done it. No team has done this. You think about Patrick Mahomes and when he had Tyreek and that offense, he never scored 70 points on no football team. Remember the New England Patriots when they went on that historic offensive run with Randy Moss and Tom Brady, and they went undefeated in the regular season but couldn't finish it because they're not the Dolphins and Don Shula, and they lost in the Super Bowl against the stinking Giants. Remember that? They didn't do that. They could have. They didn't. They couldn't. So the Dolphins
did. 1984 Miami Dolphins, if you want to say. With Duper and Clayton and Marino, we never put up a 70 burn.
That's what I'm saying. This never. I want to say Tannehill went 6-0. I want my thing is this is a different football team. Okay, and we could say last year we could still see when we were 3-0 and then we went 8-3. You knew what the flaws were. There were still things you were very concerned with this football team. But even though you go into this season, you go, man, I'm still worried about offensive line. I'm still, what about the running backs? Hey, man, the depth at linebacker, what's going on at linebacker? This. The play of this football team is silencing all of that. It's still there. Those things are still there where a player could go down on the offensive line and holy crap, what are we going to do? All that. But when you see that Kendall Lamb in place of Terron Armstead plays the way he did, you're less worried. When you see your starting center, whatever everyone says about Connor Williams, he goes down or is out, Eichenberg, of all people, goes in, and you still score, I don't know how many touchdowns after, okay? Wilson doesn't play.
3 to 4.
Ahmed goes down. A-Chain comes in, and your running game does this. Hill is still in the game. Waddle is out. Dolphins still do this. This is a different Dolphins football team.
I feel it. Me, I'm always waiting for that other shoe to drop because I've seen this rodeo where we
absolutely. I'm with you. We've been here before. We've been here before, Rob. That's why I'm always cautious. People say, "Oh, Bobby, you're too much of a realist, all this crap." No, I've seen it before. I've seen the story before where we're high and then we get dropped. But this is a different squad.
No, I have a feeling. Yep.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying. I just know back. I know Armando Salguero took some heat this week because people say, "Oh, you're the devil," because he brought up the year that the Dolphins were 9-2. We won the game against the Cowboys when Leon Lett got, and then we never won a game. And I remember that. That's still burning my brain. Granted, Marino got hurt that year, so it's a big difference. With his Achilles. But yes, I remember all these great starts. Just last year, we were off to a great start and lost 5 games in a row. So I understand why people are apprehensive. But I just feel like this aura about this team is just different. They just really are responding. Whatever McDaniel's doing, he has his team playing well together. They seem like they're really a tight-knit group. And, I know a lot of NFL, but they just really are a tight-knit group. And there's really no interest. They just have to go out there and play. There's not a team on this schedule that we can't beat. And there's also a team on this schedule that we can't look over lightly that can't beat us. But I just feel like this is different, barring any bad, what happens in football. Barring that, this team is special.
Let me just say 2 things very quick because I saw Caruno's comment right there. I want to talk about that. But Chris, absolutely, I appreciate that. Chris, there is 65 people right now watching the show, and I appreciate you all watching. But if you haven't yet, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up, or that fins up, as Rob likes to say. Hit that fins up button. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. We're almost at 1,000, which is epic. I think we're at 991, I believe. And so do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. We appreciate you all. And let me just bring up Caruno very quick before I give my final thing. I hope we don't get too cocky. I'm probably talking about the game. Let this game go over our heads. Let us enjoy this one and continue to play how – you know what? You're right. But – go watch McDaniel's post-game speech. He just said that. It's only week 3. It's only the final 3. It's only the first third. It's the 3rd win of the season. Okay?
Yep,
so they're not looking. They're not. Absolutely. It's only the 3rd week. Okay? So we as fans are hyped up about this third week, but the Dolphins are not overlooking. And on the Fitz Talk Sports Network, we don't do that. We go game by game. Evan might do it, and then I push back. I may do it. Evan might say, hey, but wait. But that's how we are here on FTSN. And I want to say this. I don't know how you guys feel about this. We're at the hour, but I'd love to hear from other Dolph fans.
I have plenty of time. Drop the link.
Let's go. Let's just, drop the link. Let's get a few people in here for a few minutes just to give their thoughts. If you guys want to hop in, you don't have to put your camera on. You keep the audio, and we'll hear from you. Go ahead, Evan, if you don't mind, drop that link, and let's see if somebody wants to hop on, just give their 2 cents on the Dolphins win today and how they're feeling against Buffalo next week.
Kurono, thank you for subscribing here on this channel. If after the end of the show you run over to Dolphins Thirsty and hit that subscribe button for me, my channel is way behind, but we're young channel. I'm an old fart, but the channel's a lot newer.
I'll come on tomorrow and help you increase your subscribers.
My next target is 450. I'm at 420 subscribers.
FinStanza will join you maybe tomorrow if you have a show Thursday.
Run over there and hit my subscribe button too. I would love it. It's Dolphins Thirsty. Easy name to remember because you are thirsty for Miami Dolphins information. So I would love for some of you guys to join because I only do this to talk Miami Dolphin football. So, and today was like a historic day. It was so great to be
Ralphie
there.
boy!
Subscribe 1,000 tonight. There you go. That's what we need.
What's up, Ralphie boy?
Ralph is excited. Ralphie, can you run outside and see if you can find about? Maybe Malloy can go outside his house and find about 5 or 6 dogs to go click and like and subscribe.
Yeah, I know exactly.
But let me go ahead,
guys. If no one joins, guys, you still are great, man. Let's get these channels pumping tonight, and just like the Dolphins are doing great, man. This is a great one. Tomorrow, I'm going to enjoy it. By Tuesday and Wednesday, I will start looking ahead to the Bills, but I'm going to enjoy this one tomorrow. Have some stuff I have to do in the morning. Going fishing tomorrow, and then so it's going to be a great day, and I can't wait. And then it's back to reality and stuff. Hey, but a great couple of days. It's fun, and I can't wait. Think about that. It's just so super. I don't know what to say.
Here's a cool
game. What a game.
Well, let me just say this very quick.
And Evan, where in the world is Hank Carpenter? I would like to know where Hank
Carpenter is. Where do you think he is? He's flying high, brother. We know damn well where Hank is.
He wanted to drive home to Orlando. There's no way he drove home tonight. If he drove home tonight, he's a buffoon. You stay in Miami and you party hard. Honestly.
Hey, let me just say.
He had Monday last week. What's he going to do this week? What's he going to do to top it off?
I don't know. I don't know if he'll make it to Thursday. He'll probably be knocked out.
Wait. What's real talk going to be like on Tuesday? How are you going to talk realistic? Malloy can't say one negative thing, or I'm going to mute his ass.
No, he won't. He was in here being good, man. He would not do that.
Oh, that's awesome, Karuna. Oh, Harrison, you bastard. That's my baby brother.
Double thumbs up. He subscribed to both of our channels tonight.
That's awesome, Karuna. Thank you, man. You won't regret it, brother. Listen, let me just throw this quick fact out there by Joe Shad. Only Dolphins ever to rush for 200-plus yards, Ricky Williams, Jay Ajayi, Lamar Smith, Reggie Bush, and Devon A-Chain. Hey, let me just say this. My daughter was wearing we found a Reggie Bush jersey a while back. It was for a kid size. And I was so excited because I told my daughter, I said, I'm going to tell you something about Reggie Bush. We only had it for like a year and a half. I don't remember how many, but it was a very short frame. But I said, man, he was one of my favorite players in the Dolphins at one point because we made him into what he should have been as a running back. The Saints underused him. I said, I wish we had him more. And I said, and today, A-Chain was like the resurrection of Reggie Bush. I mean, maybe college Reggie Bush, but A-Chain was off the chain. Kudos to Dolphins Thirsty.
I love that saying. Chain for A-Chain. I wish they would have done a close-up on Dan Marino. I
wish they would have done a close-up on Dan Marino today, watching his Miami Dolphins after everything he did with this juggernaut.
This would have been him. You ready? This would have been him. Ready? Wait.
That was so funny. That is so funny. That commercial, that was the best, I think, in the world.
He is just so like straight arrow.
Here's another tidbit. Here we go. Dolphins break or tie 13 records in 70-point performance. The Dolphins broke or tied. Okay, we knew about that, right? Okay, these are the team records that they broke or tied. Most points in a game in team history, 70. Most touchdowns in a game in team history, 10. Most total yards in a game in team history, 726. Most rushing yards in a game in team history, 350. Think about our running backs and the ones we've had over the years: Zonka, Ricky, Ronnie, all those guys, and this was the
Sorry,
most running games.
I'm sorry, the bus left.
350 yards on the ground. Most points scored in a second half of a game, 35 in team history. I think that was a tie. That's a tie. 35 points. We tied that. And most field goal pats in a game in team history. Thank you, Jason. 10. Individual records. Most touchdowns in a game by a rookie, 4, Devon Achane. Most points scored in a game, 24, Raheem Mostert and Achane. That was tied. This is another tie. Most touchdowns in a game, Raheem Mostert and Achane with 4. Most rushing yards in a game by a rookie, 203, Devon Achane. Most passing yards through 3 games in Dolphins history, 1,024 yards. That's Tua Tagovailoa. Most receiving yards through 3 games in Dolphins history, 412, Tyreek Hill. Most pats in a game in Dolphins history, in record history, for a record 10, Jason Sanders. Evan.
Yes.
Are you ready to give him his flowers?
Jason
Are you ready
Sanders?
to say you were wrong? Yes.
No, not ready yet.
He tied it. He broke a record.
When I
Give
see
him his kudos. You've been hating on that dude for 2 weeks. He had 10 straight pats.
Okay,
Last
Evan,
week,
you're always Mr. Hey,
Daniel, Chris, thank you for watching. We
only
appreciate
if
you.
I don't have. I'll give him flowers only if the 3 of us agree that we don't let Malloy onto the bandwagon because the bus already left the station.
No,
I think everybody's allowed on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Tonight?
allowed on the bandwagon.
No, I'll make you a deal, Malloy.
He ran my whole show this morning while I was en route to the
I
game.
will
So
give
Steve,
Jason
don't listen to
Sanders.
Evan. Let me know it's his show. Don't listen to him.
I will give Jason Sanders his flowers if Steve Malloy commits to staying on the bandwagon all season. He can't jump off. No,
Listen, the
he's
man
never jumped off.
Autograph.
He's not allowed to play the
What
offensive.
more do you want him to do?
He's not allowed to play that offensive line video ever again. Ever again. Jason Sanders, you have your flowers.
Hey, Evan, you're always on the ball, Evan. What is Tyreek Hill's touchdown reception rate?
Right now, he has 4 touchdowns. Raheem Mostert probably leads the league by now. Raheem Mostert now has 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just talking about I'm talking about me. You know me. I'm old. I want that Mark Clayton 18 touchdowns to stand. But if it has to be broken,
right now he's up to 4. He had 1 touchdown today, so he's at 4 touchdowns. So 4 divided by 3, he's at 1 point something. He's going to break it.
Oh wow! So yeah, he has.
Well, can I just say though, I want to go back to Sanders very quick because your thing last week was that because I said, hey man, he made these kicks, he made that kick, he scored 9 points. You're like, yeah, he could score 9 points, but when he misses a pat, that's a problem. He can't miss any pats. And he scored 10 today, Evan. Evan, don't ignore me. I know you hear me. Stop it. He scored 10 today.
It's just extra points. He's supposed to make extra points.
Exactly.
No. Don't do that, Rob. Don't do that to him, Rob.
Well, I know.
Don't do it. If you go off on him because he misses an extra point, you got to give him praise for making the record.
I do give him confidence that he could have easily missed one. Perfect. We didn't even get in the red zone sometimes just because our plays were so big. How many chunk yardage plays over 15 did we have today? It has to be way up.
Oh my 15, goodness!
I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now. Scores. I might as well go over the stats for today. I might as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Run it.
15 yards. Let me just go look. Box score. Team stats. You look at stats.
Harrison says Devon Achane rushed for more yards than the entire Jets offense game today.
It is
crazy.
That's true. And he was. And Harrison brought up the Sean Payton comments, and we talked about it earlier, Harrison, about what he said about Teddy Bridgewater and all that.
Unbelievable! I don't know how many people we had over 15.
Scotty said 8. Scott said 8.
Yeah. By the way, we did break this record, which is crazy. To have
Thank you, Scotty, always with the facts.
Well, what's Tua averaging now? He's at 900. He's 1,000 something yards. What's on Tua on pace for right now in terms of yards? What is he at?
He's already at 1,000. I just said the yards. Yeah, he's at 1,000.
But I can't believe Kirk Cousins can have all the stats he wants in the world. His team is 0-3.
Did you see Shannon Sharp go off on the Broncos in the Twitter?
I haven't seen that yet.
What can you say, man? I mean, that's embarrassing. I was thinking we had Bronco fans near us, not surrounding us. But I was thinking, man, if these guys traveled, paid for airplane, played for, that'd be like the perfect, Visa mock commercial.
He said
to South Florida, $400 round trip, hotel night,
This is what Shannon Sharp tweeted
and Price
right after the game.
Butt kicked.
What did he tweet?
Shannon Sharp tweeted after the game, Broncos country, I'm incredibly sorry and embarrassed by this pathetic, all caps, effing effort by our Broncos. This is unacceptable. To give up 70 points in an NFL game with 300-yard passer, 150-yard receiver, a 200-yard rusher, and in the same game is unconscionable. Unconscionable. I don't know. I can't do that damn word. And a bunch of angry faces. That's what they're doing right now. If you're a Broncos fan right now, how deflated are you?
Oh, no, that's what I was saying.
I want Peyton fired. I want Van Joseph fired.
There was a lot of Bronco fans. Can you imagine if you traveled all the way from Colorado?
Oh, Van Joseph has to be fired.
Pay for a hotel, pay for a game ticket to see your team get beat down. That'd be so down. That'd be so downtrodden.
I was still waiting for Vic Fangio at 70-20 to actually crack a smile. He wouldn't even crack a smile.
Maybe if we
what's up, Ryan? Ryan, what's going on? Bang bang, we'll still own you all.
You know what got proven
today? Good
luck. Honestly, John Elway might be on the end of his rope. Like he cannot continue to be the president of this team and make these.
I don't think he is. He's not still running
decisions. He makes personnel decisions.
I thought he stepped down, dude. I'm pretty sure he stepped down.
He's still the president, I think, of the Broncos.
No, I think he stepped down.
Hey,
I know.
Fins.
Miss Fins in the house.
They dropped the link earlier, Miss Fins.
Come on, let's go. Jump in.
We got to get Miss Fins in here if she can. Miami looked good last year until the 49ers wrecked that train.
You're right. He's not the Broncos.
This is not the same Dolphins from last year, Ryan. This is not the same.
Who's Ryan a fan of?
Well, he's pissing on the Cowboys, I think, if I see that correctly.
Yeah, I know, that's what it looks like. So I don't even know who.
So is he an Eagles fan or a?
Who is?
Ryan Mack.
Trying to figure out what Ryan Mack.
Okay.
We appreciate Ryan tuning in, man. Hey, we got overall great content on the channel, not just Dolphins content. We got NFL, we got NBA, we got rest, we got it all, brother. Hit that subscribe button, and we appreciate you watching. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Just can't get any better than this.
This is something.
Oh wow,
Miss Fins hit 1,000. Hey, round of applause for Miss Fins hit 1,000 subs today, or one time or another. Congratulations to her.
Very close, Bobby. What are you at right now? Did you look?
993.
993. Well, there you go.
Come on, guys. 7. Get these guys 7 more tonight.
Hey, it's a team effort. It's a team effort for all of us here. 49ers versus Dolphins Super Bowl. Oh, dude, how awesome would that be? Are you a 49er? Is that what it is, Mac?
No, okay. If he's a 49er fan, that's okay. So
it makes sense. That's so cool, Miss Fins. We're so proud of you. Miss Fins is one of the hardest working content creators out there. Diehard Dolphin fan, a great person, my friend. Got all the love in the world for her. Big supporter of my channel. I'm a supporter of her channel. Just so happy for her and proud of her. And it's just going to get better from here. Let's go. So Tua is on pace to eclipse 5,000 passing yards and 43 touchdowns per Harrison. Harrison Finstock, my baby brother. Not Harrison Melendez, but I call him Harrison Finstock.
Bobby.
Yo.
999.
Oh, wow. One more, guys.
One more.
999.
Rob, I don't think you subscribe. Go subscribe to the channel. I think Rob needs to subscribe. Get it over, Rob. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm already.
We're staying on to this. We're not getting off this channel. We're not getting off this.
So
we're staying on.
Well, we were gonna stay on. We're celebrating a
1,000.
We got 1,000.
We are 1,000. We just hit 1,000 subscribers.
Did we just hit 1,000? Hey! All right, everybody. Congratulations to the FinStanza Sports Network team and to Miss Fins. Appreciate you guys.
Awesome. And
that is really cool.
I got the 426. I entered at 421 tonight. So, guys, thank you for getting me up to 426.
Bobby, was it worth staying up for? Was it worth staying up for hitting your 1,000?
It's worth it. I was dead after, but I am good to go. Hey, I got to see my Dolphins score 70 points on an NFL team, and I think this team is going to the Super Bowl.
I was there in person, and it was so great. So many meetings for me. It was so wonderful, and it was just great to be there, man. Hey, thank you, Steve. You're a big part of that. Just like I am.
Yeah, Absolutely. Steve Malloy, Rob, Evan, Lagasse, Stager, Alex, Brown, Alex Atiachiska,
Josh Wingate,
Alfred
Cowboy
Wingate,
fan.
Kimmel, Justin Burley, Viking Dave. I don't want to miss up anybody here. Hank, Fish Tank Hank,
Justin Garfield.
Garfield, the college football
Neil
team.
Cordero when he comes on.
Everybody.
All the host bar. I know you said Alex, but
offsides, everybody. But
way,
everybody
now,
here in the comments as well. Everybody that's been watching. Everybody that's been.
You just hit 1K.
We know. We're celebrating. My wife just walked in. You just hit 1K. I was like, we know.
By the way, we need to. Isn't there a rule that Clutch has to show his face now that we're 1,000? Doesn't Clutch have to show his face?
Let me just say this. But I want to say this. First off, to these guys right here, thank you so much. I got all the love in the world for you guys. I appreciate you.
Now you have to come to Carolina.
This is a family at the FinStanza Sports Network. We have a blast. We get along. We're real life friends. We talk off show, before show. These guys are awesome, and so this is awesome. We're just going to continue to grow. But also to you guys in the comments, for everyone that tunes in every show, thank you so much. And then our Dolphins are 3-0. We've hit 1,000. Miss Vincent's hit 1,000.
Why is Malloy coming on the show?
Freaking awesome. Jeffrey, thank you for watching, my man. Let's compare this team to the 72 Dolphins. I'll wait. Let's get a Super Bowl.
I'll compare them right away. The 1972 Dolphins won games 14-7. They won games by 7. This team is winning games by 50.
Let's be fair. Back then was harder though.
I know, but
the rules are.
We scored 14.
Thank you, Realtor, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my man.
Malloy,
thank you so much.
Expect you to come on here,
thank
Malloy.
You,
Malloy, just take 30 seconds. You don't have to show your picture. Come enjoy it. Come enjoy the love. Where are you? I can't believe he's not hanging around here. What's up with Malloy today, hiding from us? Everyone who's on the network, if you're watching the show, just come say hello. Congratulate everybody. It's an amazing experience. 1,000 subscribers. Unbelievable. Now we got to get thirsty to 500. Then we got to get them 1,000.
That's right. Keep this community growing.
But Evan, the Dolphins did beat New England 52-0 in the perfect season.
My apologies.
Even though I was only 3 years old,
I wasn't alive back then.
But I have the Dr. Pepple bottle that has all the scores from the perfect.
Miss Finn said she's going to be on in just a minute.
There she is.
Actually, right now, the one and only Miss Finns. Let's get that girl in here.
You bringing her in?
What's up, guys?
Let's fix this.
Gotta fix it. Let's go.
What's
there we go.
Up,
there we go.
Man, I'm hanging out with two 1,000 page people.
Feels good, doesn't it? It feels good. It feels good. It feels good. Oh my gosh, guys, give me 1 second. I'm not trying to flash the world real quick, so hold on, so I can hear you.
Oh my gosh.
Better.
You don't need. Said it. Talk about 1,000.
It's after hours. Kids should be sleeping, I think.
Welcome, Miss Finns.
Oh, my gosh.
Congrats on you getting 1,000. I feel honored to be with Bobby and you guys today.
Thank you.
People with 1,000 subscribers. That's awesome. Well-deserved people. Steve Malloy is coming in the background. Steve Malloy is about to pop in, guys. Get ready for the handsome face of the network, Steve Malloy. So
let's get him in here. You got it?
While you do that, I just want to say congratulations. You guys over here are just doing it day in and day out. Multiple different types of shows, nonstop. I mean, if you really want a true ESPN kind of feel over here where you're getting all sports, this is where you want to come, because this is where you're going to get it.
And you're welcome here anytime you want.
And you guys are just continuing to progress each and every day, and I'm glad that I could be part of it in a really tiny scale, just to,
you are.
Again, congratulations, guys, because you guys deserve the 1,000 subscriber for sure. Congrats.
Yeah, and look at Mike L.
Great milestone.
Congrats, Gates. You will always remember the 1K stripe happened on the day when the Dolphins won.
Can you believe that?
70-20. So congrats to both of you. I'd like to say this is great, man, and you guys both are nice. Miss Finns, we keep on saying it. We never end up teaming up, but one day we got to team up on each other.
I know. It's just been so crazy, man. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be insane.
I know.
I'll be watching.
I'm gonna have the lines open. So if you guys want to come through and come up, definitely.
I'll
Because
be on.
My
tomorrow is
Dynasty
just
finishes your show tomorrow. My show starts at 10, so it's perfect timing. You can watch Miss
perfect. They
Spins.
come through. Definitely come
Yeah,
through because
yeah.
this is historic. I was at the game, guys. I saw the Robbie touchdown was on my end zone, and let me tell you something. I was laughing so hard because I'm like, this man just made this defender run 40 yards from sideline to sideline on the 1 yard line. Like it was just beautiful. We were at that point we were just toying with them. It wasn't even close. Shout out to the defense. Shout out to the offense. They both did the things. This is the game where the offense definitely took the cake. The offense did what they were supposed to do, and then the defense responded. I know they were a little at the beginning, but the defense definitely responded. Kept giving us opportunities. Kept stopping them. That last touchdown was a freebie. I don't even count it. If we're gonna be honest, there were 13 points practically the entire game, but the atmosphere it was just insane. I mean, we were I don't know if you could hear, I almost have no voice. We were screaming 3 more points, three
Yeah, I
more
know. The whole
points.
stadium was
Like,
screaming.
come on, man, you killing me, Smalls. Like, listen to me, forget being classy.
Yeah.
No other team, it had it been the other way around, they would have scored a touchdown to make sure they got the record. Like, stop, classy, get out of here, man. I'm
Ryan,
tired of
you're
being
good.
classy.
You're good. Welcome to the channel. We appreciate you. We know the 49ers aren't on, but we're happy that you're here. And when the 49ers play Dolphins, or if it goes down to the Super Bowl, we'd love to have you on. You can come and we'll have a good show. You're always welcome. Steve Malloy. Steve, how are you, my man?
I'm doing great. First off, I got to say congrats to the FinStanza Sports Network. We hit 1,000. I'm just really glad I'm part of this network. I know Rob and I are ecstatic. We joined about a year ago now, and we just saw the potential this network had, and we just enjoy everybody that's on the show with us. And like you said, Bobby, we're all family. We all get along. We all have our differences, but remember, we may not agree everything Miami Dolphins, but there's one thing we can agree on. We are all Dolphins, God dog it!
That's right. Let's go.
Let's go.
Well
Hey,
said,
because when you
Steve.
say
Well
Miami,
said.
we're talking Super Bowl. So I gotta say.
I'm going to tell
Absolutely.
you, every time the Dolphins scored, I mean, especially after 50 points, it's crazy to say.
Crazy.
We made my kids, we just start saying, I go, Miami has it off, and my kids will start going off.
Let me tell you, I called the 50 burger on Wednesday when I did my pick'ems. I said, nope, I'm seeing a 50 burger. Let's
Wow.
go. And
Good job
I
on
was
your end.
52-17 because I deep dove on Broncos. I'm like, they have a weak secondary. Bassertain is the only one that's healthy.
Simmons was out too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So the only guy they had was Pat. Everybody else was injured. Their pass rush was doing okay. Obviously, they got to Sam Howell 4 times last week, but this isn't Sam Howell's team. So I'm like, nope, I'm seeing us running up the score. And I said 52-17, and I mean, I'll take the 70. I mean, I want 73, you know what I mean? But 73 is so much sweeter, but it is what it is at this point.
Well, I mean,
it
it's
was
awesome.
so funny.
Bobby just ran through the numbers. There's so many firsts. And like you, Miss Vince, I was at the game today. It was amazing. It was great. It was fun. And man, it's so special for me on so many reasons that I just can't say because I would start crying like a baby.
I know,
but
me
man,
too.
this was great.
Me too.
So
like literally, I was like,
no, I know. Because
I
just
got
for
a
me,
pussy.
it's like I would just say I had, it's my first game in years because I'm a double lung transplant patient. It's the first time the doctors allowed me back into the stadium because of my immune system. So what a way to welcome myself back into that.
Absolutely, brother.
I said it about crying. I said it about crying.
Sure.
And it's amazing, man.
I think
it's
Malloy's crying.
Wow, what a game to go back. I went with my youngest son.
I am.
My oldest son sent me text. I'm jealous because he's up in Gainesville and he knew we were going today. He goes, I'm jealous. I go, hey, at least you went to your Gator game last night. He goes, yeah, but that sucked compared to this. So, it was so great. It was so amazing. I would never forget this day. Even though I know it's just a regular season game, I hope they give me Super Bowls never to forget. But for a regular season game, this ranks up there, like I said, for me for personal reasons, and it's so wonderful.
Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
Let me just say very quick for Daniel, who's saying that the entire Miami Dolphins running back room needs a boost. Madden 24 ratings adjuster. Let me just say, I play Madden, and I've been playing with the Dolphins, and I've been playing with my brother, and I've been, you would think that I would be airing it out with Tyreek, which I did a couple times to beat him, but I would run the ball with Mozart, and I would run and score touch 50-yard runs, and Harrison would be like, all of a sudden Mozart could do all these big plays, and of course it's in Madden. He's like, I go, what? And then look what Mozart's doing now. So I guess it is that realistic, huh? Look what Mozart's doing. Mozart, A-Chain. Oh my goodness. But Miss Fins, look, I said it, started 3-0 last year. We're 3-0 again. This is a different 3-0 team because look what they're doing. It's not only through the air, it's running the ball. I mean, it's like, and again, you look at it when it's been done, you go, well, it was against the people. I've seen it's against the Broncos. They suck. Let me just say this. Did Pat Mahomes, who's one of the best quarterbacks with Tyreek Hill, ever do this? 70 points against the Broncos or any team?
Nope.
No. Mm-mm. Did Tom Brady and Randy Moss do this on their historic run? No.
Nope.
No. The Dolphins did this, and not just with Tyreek.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric.
You will not see this again.
And not just with through the air with Tyreek. It was with A-Chain. It was with Mozart, and it was with a stifling defense. Agba finally is back. The way he showed up, it was awesome to see him. We have Sharif in the house. Let's get in Sharif here, I think, audio-wise. See how is he? Sharif, are you there? See if he's trying to get his audio
Hey,
up.
good evening, guys. Fins up.
Fins up, Sharif. How you doing, man?
Sharif?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
We hear you good, brother.
Hey, Miss Fins.
Hey, how you doing,
I
Sharif?
appreciate you guys, man. I was looking around, and there's no one. It's like everyone is tired after the win, and you guys are up just celebrating it. It's not like we're rubbing it in their faces, but we gotta talk about this, man. I tell you what.
I am. Because they
have to.
They
you have to. They damn right they would. Any team would. But you know what? We come on. Our post game is at 8 p.m. every Sunday. Win, lose, or draw. But you damn right. We usually go about an hour. We're rolling past that because why wouldn't you? I mean, you're a Miami Dolphins, Sharif, Miss Fins, Rob, Steve, Evan, Leo, Scotty, Eric, Jeffrey, everyone who's tuning in, Dan, everyone who's your Miami Dolphins are a legit 3-0. Your Miami Dolphins are the number one offense in the NFL, and this is not week 1. This is week 3, and don't say it's and not saying anyone's saying this, but this is not an absolution. This is not some shot in the pan thing. This is a real deal number one offense in the NFL. This is why we hired McDaniel. Okay?
What people thought balanced too is what I love. It's not just all the best part. Air.
That's the best part.
You hit the nail right there, sir. You hit it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I truly believe, Ms. Fins, if the Dolphins decided we're only going to run today, we would have kicked their butt just running the football only today. I mean, that's how good it was.
Listen, we scored. If I'm not, I could be wrong, but I think did we not score 8 rushing touchdowns, which is another NFL record? Like, look,
it was actually no.
I
It
don't
was actually
care what anybody tells me.
It was 6 and 4.
We should have kicked that field goal at the end. I don't care. Because you don't have a historic game. Let me tell you something, guys. You were there with me, man. You were at the game. Let me bring you guys in real quick. It was kind of deflating. I'm not gonna lie. Not going for. Everybody was pissed. It's like, why would you not just nail in the coffin? Because other teams never give us a respect. And I turn the other. Anyways, I don't care. Listen, I'm so tired of being the nice team. No, we need to continue.
Well, McDaniel said it's for karma, Miss Fans, and I
karma karma nada. Okay,
I
karma nada.
Because it would have been like they would have compared it. They said, "Oh, that would have just been like kicking." Now, if they would have ran it in and got the 77, that's a big difference. But
let me say this. Let me say. Go ahead, Miss Fins. Go ahead.
2 seconds.
Go ahead.
Would Kansas City have done it?
Probably.
Would the Patriots have done it?
Probably.
Patriots definitely would have done it.
Would the Bills have done it? Would Philly have done it? Would every other team in this league would have done it? Yes. You don't get that close to the overall goal and not. You know what I mean? Like,
we're the Dolphins, baby. We're the Dolphins. The number one Dolphins in the NFL. We're 3-0,
girl. Let me say this. Number one, I want to congratulate Miss Fins on getting your 1,000 as well. So I appreciate that. Your show, I watch your show from time to time. I don't always comment, but I do watch your show. I'm subscribed to your show. But I agree with you 100%, Miss Fins. I was standing up in front of the TV. My wife says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I want them to kick that field goal or run it in. Punch it in. I don't care. Get that touchdown. Get that field goal. Get that record."
Thank you. You don't leave a record out. Like, do you realize that you go to Canton? You're immortal, man. Like,
but you said it.
32 teams, 100 years of our history.
Yeah, and you said it. You said it, Miss Fins. You said it. We don't get the respect. You know what I mean? We don't get that respect, man. We need that respect. We need it.
You.
So here's the title for Real Talk on Tuesday. Should have went for the record.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
That's real talk.
Malloy, you want some real talk?
That we ran up the score.
You want some real talk?
What's that?
If they would have had to score the touchdown, because you know what would have happened with Jason Sanders needs to break that record.
Baloney. He would have made it.
My man was perfect. My man was money 10 for 10.
I'm doing that for Bobby.
Don't talk trash about. Leave Jason's alone, man.
Leave him alone.
He was money today. 10 for 10.
Money.
Perfect.
He made every pat.
Decision to do what they did. I get both sides, but I'm fine with what they did. I thought it's
listen.
Good. You
absolutely
down, and you won classy. No one's gonna. I just think it was perfect. We know if they wanted to get.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I was texting Alex beforehand, and we were saying, go get it. Just go get that record because you'll be in the record. But when they nailed it, I was cool. I was like, okay, I see it. I can see why you're gonna nail it. I wanted it.
Where they were though, Bobby. Do you realize where they were?
Yeah,
we've been on the other side of the 55, man. We weren't even close. They were in PAT range.
Yeah,
not just field goal range, PAT range.
They were saving me from Evan, because if Sanders would have hit that and missed it, and I would have to listen to this guy.
10
I know.
We lost if we would have done that.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I get
Sanders misses that kick, you would have thought we lost listening to Evan.
Cut me off. You cut me off on 95.
You got that right. You got that right, Rob.
You off on 95 somewhere.
I believe in my kicker, okay? And I think
everybody needs to start. Amen. That's why me and Miss Fins were like this.
I'm fine.
We're like this.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Because this is the thing. What you're telling me is you don't trust your kicker. What if it's the Super Bowl and we're down by 2 and we need a kick? What are you gonna do? And you're far away. You're not gonna give it to your kicker.
I don't think it had anything to do with not trusting the kicker. I just think he didn't want to run it up. You don't know, man. You're telling me you don't trust your kicker. This is what I'm getting as an analyst. You're telling me after 10 PATs you don't trust your kicker? No, that does not look good. To me, that shows that he's not trusting his kicker. But it's funny because it's like, okay, not only did we get 70 points, we won by 50, broke like 6 records, but still I wanted the big one,
You already scored. You already scored 70 points. You already embarrassed the hell out of Denver Broncos, and now for 3 more points, you're not gonna kick the field goal and get the record. Come on.
Let me tell you what I was.
Daniel said his decision was not to go for the field goal, but he actually took the time to ask the team captains, and they were all on the same page.
Get the hell out of here. I don't want to hear that garbage. Listen, you know what I was telling people while I was there?
Those captains.
Not you. But don't give me that baloney, man. Do you know how many? Okay, guys, tell me. You guys must remember a couple of years ago, 53-3. The Bills ran up the score and beat us by 50. That didn't feel good, but they kept scoring until the last second.
Oh, I know. The Ravens.
Nobody took their foot off
the Baltimore Ravens did it to us
on my birthday. On my birthday, which was Dan Marino's birthday too. 3 years ago, 2019. I'm never gonna forget this.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta get going. But hey,
go ahead, Steve. It was good seeing you, brother. See you Tuesday.
Yes, man. Hey, thanks for letting me come on again. Congratulations, Miss Fins. Congratulations, Fins Talk.
Steve.
Oh, Steve, thank you for doing my show today, Steve. Thank you for running the ship.
Absolutely enjoyed it, Rob. I enjoyed it very much, and I'm glad I was wrong. I'm glad I was wrong, and the Dolphins won by a large margin.
If you were right about who won, you were just wrong about it being a close game.
And that's okay. I'll take that every day, including Sunday.
Every day.
You know, so no problem. Anyway,
see you guys later tomorrow. Because I gotta go continue. But I just wanted to say
be running out soon too.
Congrats, Bobby. And
congrats. No, congrats to both you, Bobby, and Miss Finn. So super.
Thank you, Rob.
I just hit 420. I'm happy. I hit 426 tonight, so that's awesome, man.
This is what happens when the team is doing well. Everybody does well. You know what I mean? Yeah. And right now, we have to take this in and enjoy because I said this game right here. I don't know if you guys remember 3 years ago, we lost to the Colts. It was week 3, actually, ironically, or week 4. We lost to the Colts, and then we had that Tennessee game that Tua played horrifically in. And we were like, oh, man, had we won the Colts game, we wouldn't have needed this Tennessee. And this is why I tell people conference games are just as important as divisional games for tiebreakers. So to me, I was like, this is a must win. Like, we need to destroy the teams we're supposed to destroy because they're a weaker opponent. And right now, the Dolphins just put the NFL on notice.
Oh, no, that's what I said. We put them on notice.
We go blow for blow. We beat you on the air and the ground. And it doesn't matter who you put in front of us, we're going to find a way to win. And to me, this win right here is going to make the difference in the playoffs. Watch. Because that's what we need. That's what we needed. We had to destroy it.
No, you're 100%, man. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Daniel said something that was 1 point. They try to get all these guys. We end up not needing them. Sometimes it's just like works out, man. You know, karma sometimes looked out good. Yes. We tampered to get Tom. We tampered to get Sean Payton.
I'm glad
we got nailed for it, but we end up getting the prize that's better. It's the longer term prize. So I love it. It's just like, man, sometimes you get lucky not getting what you desire.
That's right.
Well, there are multiple ways of how to win. You know, they're just finding a way to win with what we have, which is why I said we want Dalvin Cook and Jonathan Taylor, but do we need them? No. And I stuck my 10 toes down when it comes to that because I knew I trust my guys. I know who I have in my backfield. Yeah. And you know what? I mean, A-Chain's looking, guys. If A-Chain keeps this up and he actually he might get offensive rookie of the year.
I already said it.
If he continues to do this production, I don't see anybody else.
Well, can you and we got Sharif who's back. He fixed his thing. So, but I just want to say this in regards of A-Chain. After what A-Chain did today, I mean, Savon has done well for us the past 2 weeks. But how could you keep Savon ahead of A-Chain with Mozart? You have to keep A-Chain and Mozart together going into next week.
You have to, man.
Right?
You have to.
The only thing I will say is matchups. I always give the guys with experience a head up because at the end of the day, that's what you need. Now, this game, he got a lot of experience, which is good for A-Chain. But you always want to take into consideration the players that have experience based on the matchup. Like this next team we're about to play, which is the Bills, they already know about A-Chain. They got plenty of tape on him. So we're going to have to see. He's still a rookie for me. So I don't want to keep him in the deep end. This was a great trial run. And I think he's going to continue to be successful, but I'm going to keep the experience only because to me, while A-Chain's getting his experience, Ahmed will be able to fill that role. And they could go back and forth. They can split their leave Moser by himself, but they can split their runs because
absolutely fair.
I think that's fair. I think that you still want to give the experience, especially against an opponent like the Bills. You just know they're gonna play us tough, and you don't want to put a rookie in that right away, in my opinion. But
I think that's fair. But let me get Sharif back in here. Sharif, are you there? See if he pops back in. I know he's in the audio.
Yes, I am, guys. I tell you what. So I've been thinking about, when we were getting Engel and, the fullback, I thought about, Keith Byers, Rob Conrad, and I realized that McDaniel wants everybody to block down. And my friend, Miss Finn, she knows that this offense needs the tight end. And basically, Engel is the second tight end. And it's some outstanding numbers, ladies and gentlemen. We're third in the NFL in success rate when we go in 21 personnel. That's 2 wide receivers, a fullback, and a running back. In terms of the yards per play out of the 21 personnel, we're ranked first. And and in terms of the NFL success rate before the game today, we were 7th. And so Engel blocking down, Smythe blocking down. We've seen Julian Hill produce big gaps for this team. And what I love is they said it's comparable to the unicorn line with Albert, Brandon Albert, Jay Ajayi. I don't think this line is going to be better than that line, because the holes these guys open up, anyone can run through. And I think as Dolphin fans, we have to appreciate that it's been a year now that McDaniel has been in. Remember now, McDaniel was an offensive line coach while with the Niners. So he's coming in, establishing what he wants, and is working to perfection. And what is also interesting is 94% of the time that we're in 21 personnel, and we give the success rate of passing, right? That's the success rate of passing. That means we're setting somebody up for the deep ball later in the season out of either pro form formation, I formation, strong or weak side with the fullback. So we're setting somebody up. I think that those things right there, guys, those things really are making me a happy Dolphin fan.
Hey, good to hear, man. Well said, sir. Well said.
100%. And you look at that, and again, offensive line, before the season, before, when Armstead was down, we were all laughing at, or we all, when Greer said, you guys are more worried about it than I am. We all went, how dare you? Like, what the hell?
That's why I stopped worrying about it.
Yeah, you did. And we talked about it. We said, you know what? Fine. If that's what you say, we'll wait. And you know what? So far, so damn good, because so far, so good. And again, and this is the thing, right? The issues, and this is what I said earlier, Miss Fins, is that the concerns that we had about this team before the season, you talk about offensive line depth or whatever, they're still there. It's still there. But what's different is that Miami is winning in spite of that. And players are actually playing up. They're stepping up. It's next man up. And they're winning football games. Last week, the 24-17 win, again, it's the score was closer than really what it was. It wasn't that close, but last year or the years before that, Dolphins would have lost that game. The Dolphins are winning these type of games.
Yeah,
so
100, Bobby, 100%.
It's just a different feel. That offensive line, you got to get Butch Berry. People were laughing when we hired him. Remember? It's like a lot of Dolphin fans don't give guys a chance.
No, I remember all the sticky notes, Joe. Oh, that's the coach that put sticky notes on the players' lockers and this and that, and that's a horrible hire. He wasn't even that good at University of Miami. Right. People said he wasn't even that good at University of Miami. How are we hiring this guy to be an offensive line coach for the Dolphins? But whatever. I don't know. He just gave them magic water before the game. I don't know what he's giving them, but they're playing much better.
Space Jam water.
That's right. That's right.
I just love it. I don't know. They're just playing well.
Let me just say very quick before, because we're almost at the 2-hour mark, and I'll close it out at the 2 hours just to let everybody know so people are aware. But I just want to say we got tomorrow morning Miss Fins at 8:00 Eastern live, Victory Monday. So everyone who's watching, if you while you're on your way to work, get your morning coffee.
Bobby, you better show up.
Hey,
I'll be there. Yom Kippur, I'll be there.
Hey,
if I'm Evan to be Evan will be there. Evan will be there. I'll try my best, but Evan for sure will be
And
there.
then following on Thursday show right after that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yes.
Yanier
No work for
Ramirez,
me.
I was
That's
way
why-
wrong.
that's why I
Apologies
can
all
do
to
this
Yaniers.
channel. It's gonna be long.
And I got a
'cause I'm
show
off.
at 10 a.m. tomorrow
Yes,
morning.
that's what I say. You got Miss Fins at 8 o'clock in the morning. So when you're on your way to work, get your morning coffee,
Yeah.
listen to Miss Fins and Company. And then at 10 o'clock, you could continue your great Dolphins content with Dolphins Thirsty on the Dolphins Thirsty YouTube channel. He'll be on there with his guys talking Dolphins as well. Yanier says, and Yanier, welcome to the channel, says, I was way wrong. Apologies to all Tuaneers. Yanier, welcome to the channel. Fins up to you, brother. 8 a.m. Eastern time, Eric. Yes, Miss Finn's channel. Can't get better than that. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody here. Daniel says the Shanahan coaching tree lived up to his name, Miami Dolphin fans. Hey, again, if this is the way it continues into the end of the season, let's say, God willing, it goes to the promised land, even if and whatever happens at the end, the way this team is going, especially on offense, our coaching staff is going to be poached. It won't be the Shanahan coaching tree. It will be the McDaniel coaching tree.
Oh,
because
you're
Yeah,
right.
I see that.
You know,
I
I mean, Butch Berry on the offensive line, Frank Smith, Wes Welker, Eric Studsville at running back coach. I mean, all around these guys are playing or coaching their
Coaching
team,
up their talent.
just to another level. I mean, it's just amazing how everybody is hitting it up, you know. Fitz, I appreciate you, Ian. Thank you.
Yes, Eric.
That's,
and another note, man, it's just, yeah, no. Oh, I was going to say something. I forgot. I lost my train of thought. But it was just something about this game again that you guys were brought. But it was just like such a good butt whipping that there's too many studs to mention. It's just, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, let me ask that. I didn't ask Miss Fins, and I wanted to ask Steve, but I'll ask Miss Fins, and then we'll get to make sure I have it. It's still here because Sharif is still there. But let me ask Miss Fins first, and then we'll get to Sharif. And I know it's hard. Your studs and duds for the game. Your top 3 studs and duds.
Well, before I answer that real quick, I want to take 2 seconds about the O-line.
Yes.
If we're going to give Tua a chance to develop, then I understand why the front office says you got to give our other guys time to develop, a.k.a. AJ and Eichenberg. Even though I know Eichenberg, he's like, oh, you know, we're like, I don't know. But you still got to give them a shot. You know what I mean? They just need playing time. So past that, studs and duds. As far as my studs, I mean, how do you not say? I'm not giving it to McDaniel because I'm mad about the 3 points. So nope. But I will say you have to give it to A-Chain, Mostert, and I would say Tyreek and Tua. I mean, like that's right there. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard. It's really hard. Duds, the duds definitely come in the defensive line. The defensive side of the ball. But if you really think about it, they really still did their job because they kept them to 20 points. So, and which is below our yearly average this year, last year, and the year before. But I would say I'm gonna go in general. The tackling gotta get better. Like that. That's probably my dud. And because there's too many players, I'm just gonna say in general the defense. We gotta get better at tackling. Let's go ahead and do that. And as far as the special teams, tackling again. You know, I would say that would be like the 2 areas of opportunities where we have, in my opinion, right now.
There you go. Look, hey, I love it. Fair enough. Sharif, my man, you still there? See if he pops back in.
Yeah, I'm right here, man. I was thinking just now about the motion can you guys hear me?
Yes.
We hear you.
Am I good now?
You're great.
Yeah, we hear you perfect.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you good, my man. Your top 3 studs and duds.
So I was talking about the motion, and in terms of when you look at the all 22, you would see that top 3 studs and duds. Okay. I would say the offensive line. I would say the quarterback. for the fakes. I think it's underrated, his fakes. He faked me out at least 4 times where I thought it was going to the left or the right, and all of a sudden it's A-chain up the middle. Those fakes that Tua made, I think those are one of the stud things that he does. Duds, tackling. I'd have to agree, tackling, pass rush. Obviously, when I look at the film more, I will probably realize that it's more like a Chargers defense where you're keeping Herbert. Realize that Russell Wilson has a gun.
Yeah.
So in doing the defense we did in the second half, it just basically we had 2 men always by the receiver, whether they caught the ball deep. We always had 2 men. So I think it was more we knew we could defend the run. Let's defend the receiving deep. That's kind of my duds and my studs.
And go ahead and finish what you were saying before. We appreciate that. What was your talking about the old 22?
I don't know if you remembered.
I think he may be on a delay. He might be on a delay. We'll wait from the pop.
We got that real quick. Thank you, Leo Brooks, for subscribing to Miss Fins and myself. Thank you. Fins
Absolutely.
Up to you, Leo.
Thank you, Leo. You would think people have. It's funny. People have to get reminded sometimes. They don't understand. Subscribing to a channel is 100% free. Liking the button, hitting the like button, absolutely free. Sharing the channel is absolutely free. I know not everybody can monetarily support the channels because there's several content creators putting out awesome content. So not everybody can do it. And trust me, we all understand with what's going on in the world. Let me just leave it there. But, just a simple like of the content, a simple share, all of that word of mouth, it really does help out the channel. I mean, look, if we were able to get not one, like we got so many touchdowns today, and we got not one but 2 channels to 1,000 today. So
that's crazy on a day that the Dolphins score 70. Like, you guys will never forget that, man. That's like super duper, man.
Never forget. And the fact that I was there, the fact that I was blessed with a ticket to be able to go, it was just blessings on blessings on blessings. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. And Baruch Hashem, like everything it's really just
the beautiful loving. Hebrew of Miss Fins.
Wow.
Beautiful Hebrew from you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But it's a blessing. And to have great content creators, to the foresight, Bobby, because when we know your beginning, or at least if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, story hour. So Bobby was actually part of another channel, and then he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go on my own, and he did, and look at what he's doing now. So I mean,
that's awesome, man.
You're doing bigger and better things, and to me, you're gonna grow this into. I mean, I'm telling you, you're on the right path. Continue what you're doing because and shout out to the real star of the show, Tati. That's all you. I get it, girl. Trust me. Dealing with the kids.
Bobby, you need to get down here, you and your wife somehow, You got to get down here for the game. Come down for the Carolina game, Bobby. You can do it.
I offer Bobby live on television. Tell everybody what I told everybody on the pregame show.
What did you offer him?
I told him the ticket to the Panthers game. I haven't bought them yet because I'm waiting for this guy to get a plane ticket. I said, I'll pick you up at the airport.
You got to do it.
I told him I'll pay for the ticket.
It's fan club weekend.
I'm coming down for 6 days. I'm coming down to my place for 6 days. I told Bobby I'll pay for his ticket. I'll get him to the game.
Well,
come to the game.
Boss. Dude, you're doing it wrong, Dan. You don't speak to Bobby. You speak to Tati.
I don't have time
to talk to her. I see you gotta go ask. Come on, man.
That's it. People call me El Jefe. No, El Jefa.
Exactly.
Do I have to call your mom? Do I have to call Ralphie? What do I have to do here?
She just told you. Miss Fins, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Since the beginning, you've been a friend of the channel and a friend of mine. And I'm just happy that we are growing together on this, and I appreciate you. And Tati's watching, so she hears you guys. So
she's laughing.
Thanks. Her ears were ringing, so she tuned in and heard all that. So
funny.
and Miss Fins, you go to the games. Would you be at the Carolina game?
Yes, I will be at the camp. So let me explain to you what's going on because I don't know if he explained it to you or not. That's fan club weekend, guys. So for
Yeah.
those of you that do or don't know, fan club weekend is where all of the Dolphins clubs throughout the country come together for the weekend. And this year is versus the Panthers. And you're gonna have something on Friday. You got something on Saturday. The biggest one is Saturday. Like that's huge. You got a huge party
Where's
and
that
like
at? At
you get
boat
to
campers this year, or where did they put
typically
it?
typically is both campers. They haven't dropped exactly where it's going to be this year, but once we get more like closer to it, I know they will. But regardless, it's such
Evan, you
an
and I are going to
experience.
that, Evan.
I
You
We're
just
going
need
to
have
that.
to
I
do it.
just need
It's
to know
such
how
an
many tickets I'm
experience.
buying and where I'm buying my tickets. I need to know if I'm buying for myself or I'm buying for Bobby. I just need to beg this guy to come down to Florida.
These ears are right here listening. I'm telling you, man. Go ask her.
Tati, what do I
Well,
need
she
to do?
didn't say no yet in here. She hasn't said no in live chat, so that's
Where do
hope.
you sit?
There's
Exactly.
Where do
hope.
you sit, Miss Finch? Where do you sit when you go to the games?
132. So section 132. Yeah, that's where typically I find the tickets. I mean, to be honest with you guys, last year, I mean, I bought a ticket like 2 minutes before the game for like $30, and I didn't care. It was like 300 something. I'm
Oh,
like,
I
I
don't
just
care.
want to
Yeah,
be in
yeah.
here. Yeah, like I don't care.
Oh, I was in the
Somebody
four.
donated the ticket, so we're gonna
I was
be
in
in section
section
132.
451 today, and it was fine. That stadium had all the seats are fine in that stadium. It doesn't matter. It's a good view.
It
It's
is. It is.
really it's nice. And the good thing about being in
It's
the
hot.
400, you don't get hot. You're under the shade on the 400, so there's
Well,
like
that's the thing.
advantage.
That's what's great about that stadium. You know, you're up there. Those seats all the way back there. I remember
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
last game I went to
Hate
the
it.
stadium was Jay Ajayi and Ryan Taylor when we were playing Buffalo and we were down and we came all the way back and Ajayi ran for 200 yards. I was up on the
Right.
stands with Ralph I was up on the very top right under the Hard Rock logo and it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was, and I was watching the whole game. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
That stadium is
Yeah,
superb.
that 300 level, you're perfectly fine. Like you really don't, you barely get any sun. To be honest with you, I would say more like the 100 in the visiting side. That's
Yeah,
probably
the
where
visiting side,
hot.
you're cooking out there if
You
you're on the
are
100.
you
And that's
you
where a
will
lot of
become
Bronco
the
fans were
tailgate.
today. I was like, suckers, you didn't know where to not buy. They were probably, oh my God,
They
it's not like
sizzle.
this in Colorado. So
Oh, they were
we're
not.
go-
They're coming from Mile High to the lowest point in the entire
yeah,
country.
yeah.
Like,
And then to see their team get mollywopped,
oh,
it's like, oh my goodness.
and to be honest with you, that last touchdown was BS. So realistically speaking, we held them for most of that game to 13 points.
No,
That
but
is
yeah,
what
man,
a
it was a beatdown, man. That's what I
57
say.
like
Nitpicking on anything in this game is crazy because it was just a total beatdown,
it
and I
was.
love it. Evan, you're scaring me. You haven't been this quiet for a while. How are you doing over there, Evan?
I'm doing
He's
great.
itching.
I'm itching, but I've been quiet for a good minute. Just a quick question for everybody. Miss Finns and Thirsty, where'd you guys buy your tickets? Just to answer for Yair because he says he wants to come down for a game, and I haven't bought mine yet. Where do you guys typically
I
buy
got
your
mine
tickets?
on StubHub for this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I typically do Ticketmaster. To be honest with you, it's just kind
Yeah,
of
there's a lot of
simple.
tickets there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got for the Panthers game. I got them on Ticketmaster
Ticketmaster.
because I bought them direct from the team that night,
Yeah.
and that's their official. I got them the night the tickets went on
Huh.
sale. But I'm like, what game's going to be the least demand that I'm not going to be in the quell? And then they're going to tell me, oh,
Bobby,
sorry,
press
the
your own.
game's sold out. So I picked the one game. I said, no one's going to pick the Panthers game. So I picked the Panthers game.
No, but
seriously.
And then
no, the
this
one
Bronco game was more of
no,
decision
the
in
one thing I
past
wanted
couple
to just
months.
say is, and what people don't realize, if you put a blindfold on Tua, he's going to be able to make that play. His body was completely turned on the A-chain touchdown. His body was facing Tyreek Hill. He was having a conversation with him. To be able to do that, the speed on which he's able to react to the play and has that much confidence in his
That
players,
play live.
it is to see that live. It must have been insane. The level he was staring at the other end zone and he was throwing the football.
Like I had to catch a replay because I was like, did I just see what I thought I
Exactly.
just saw? Like
He's at a different level. He's at a different level right now.
this is what people don't understand. Guys, come to my Tour Tuesday on Tuesdays where I focus on 100% on Tua. But I'm going to give you a little insert of what I'm going to be talking about. This is his third year post career-ending injury, guys, and we have to take that into consideration. You also have to take into consideration second year in the same scheme. He's developing. And people think, oh, he did nothing his first 2 years. Actually, Tua developed skills that right now you see are helping him, aka his movement in that pocket. He would have never been like this had he not gone through the O-lines he went through his first and second year. So right now he's just taking every single year and just growing and developing and growing. And I'm going to finish with this. It took me a minute. When I came to this realization, I was kind of upset at myself because I was like, man, I can't believe it took me this long to realize. But I don't know if you guys, tell me if you agree with me. I think the Miami Dolphins are treating this team, and specifically to the way old school teams used to treat quarterbacks. They used to have like 3, 4, 5 years to develop and then play for another 15 years. You know what I mean?
That's how it used to be. Now it's like these fans
now
just
it's
like instant
1
results.
year and then you're done. You know what I mean? So
Boomer Esiason said it today. He was like, the way Tua's playing playing the position the way the quarterback position is supposed to be played.
What did he compare him to?
In
Do you
pocket,
remember the name he
not
used?
running. No, I didn't. I didn't see that part. What did he say?
He referred to him as Joe Montana.
Did he really? I didn't see that. Ralph says, Evan, Bobby, Ron, Miss Fins. It's a great time to be a Fins fan. 3-0. My game ball goes to the entire team, and my dud goes to all the Tua haters.
Guys, being critical of Tua is not hating. I mean, even though some people really do hate.
Yeah.
Well, there's some people that hate him, Miss Vince. There's some
people
that critical. Critical is fine. Like Steve Malloy, we pick on him, but he's critical. He wants Tua to do well. He wants to eat his words. But some people almost want Tua to do wrong so they can say, "Oh, I was right." That
there are some people like that. There are some.
But for the most part, I'm like you. You can be critical of your guy. I mean, I went through the David Woodley era. May he rest in peace. I've gone through all these guys, Cleo Lemon, and all these people. All these names that I've seen. So it's okay to be critical of your quarterback, but just don't hate, because if they're on the aqua and orange, I'm rooting for them. That's my theory.
Like at this point, I was glad that the Dolphins didn't Dolphins the draft. Well, now I'm saying that, but they didn't Dolphins the draft. Well, I said it that night too. My brother and I cried. We were like, "Oh my God, we still got to it. We won games. Like, we were so happy." I'm telling you, there has to be a video somewhere. I gotta find it, because we were just so happy because you knew that was the guy that you wanted. Let's be real. Tua would have never been in this team had he not gotten injured. He would have never been in this team. He would have been first overall. He was already slotted to be first overall. Even with the way that Joe Burrow was doing and that he had that 1 year, Tua was still going to be first overall no matter what. And Burrow was going to be second. So we would have had no shot at either of them. And because he got injured, he fell down. So
that's why we lost the Bengals. That's why we won the Bengals game.
That's right. Yeah. It was all the plan. So we're at the 2-hour mark, and I know that Miss Fins and Rob, they got to get going, but they also they got an early morning. But before let's do the closeout here. Evan, final words before we wrap it up, my man.
I love Miss Fins. I love Thirsty. I love Bobby when he comes to Carolina.
Carolina.
You better come to the Carolina
game in South Florida.
On you know what he means. I'm begging you. Bobby. What do I have to do? Do I have to buy Tati something? What do I buy Tristan a new Xbox game? What do I have to do?
Free ticket, free, like everything. All you're doing is paying the
flight.
We gotta talk Bobby offline, because at this point now I need you to be there. Like at this
we need
point,
a party with you, Bobby.
At this point,
he is coming down in February to walk in. We're going to be walking together.
I'm in the cancer, 5K
walk for the cancer challenge.
We're still in.
You need to get down here for a game.
We're still in. Like.
My son's calling from Gainesville. I gotta go, guys.
Go ahead, Rob. Thank you, brother. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Nice to see you again.
All right, bye, guys.
Oh man, Miss Fins, any final words before we close it out?
This was a must-win. The Dolphins gave you exactly what they needed to do, which was to win this game, win it decisively. We have continue to add and find ways to win a game and versus very capable opponents, because even though, some people say, oh, Broncos are trash. Well, they lost their first 2 games by like 3 points or less. So they're not trash. It's just they went up against an offense that's just hard to stop. So at this point, to me, this was a historic day, for not just for the Dolphins, but for our channels too. So it's just nothing but blessings, and at this point, I just can't wait to see how else are we gonna find another way to win. Especially with this upcoming challenge that we have with the Bills. But to be honest, I fear nobody. Last year, the Bills, the point differential in 3 games was 3 points, and they barely beat a 7th round rookie QB. And if it wasn't for Puff the Magic Dragon, we would have won that game. I don't care what anybody tells me, okay?
That's awesome. I love it.
Thank you, guys. Hey. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for subscribing. And continue to support Bobby, because he's doing great things over here. And all of you guys for sure. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, okay?
First thing.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, Miss Finn's channel over there. Thank you so much, Miss Finn's. Everyone for tuning in. I appreciate you. God bless you. As always, like, subscribe. Most importantly, Fins up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.